Hey there, traveler. Before we begin, take a deep breath. Let your body settle and your mind slow down. Tonight we're journeying back in time, to the American West of the 1870s. A world of open skies, drifting dust, and endless plains where cowboys lived their quiet, rugged lives beneath a sea of stars. If you're enjoying these stories, be sure to like, share, and leave a comment below. Tell me, where are you listening from and what time is it there? I'd love to know what corner of the world you're dreaming from tonight. Now, find a cozy spot. Let your breathing grow soft and steady. As your eyelids grow heavy, picture yourself lying beneath the pale light of dawn. You've just woken up in the American West. The cool morning air brushes your skin, dry and clean, scented faintly with sage and dust. The ground beneath you is firm, the sky above still dim. You hear the faint snort of horses, the murmuring stir of men rising from sleep. Another long day on the trail is about to begin. You stretch, muscles aching from yesterday's ride. 14 hours in the saddle have left their mark. Your back stiff, your legs bow-shaped, your hands cracked and dry. The wool blanket beneath you scratches against your skin, and your oilcloth gear is cool and stiff with morning dew. Around you, shadows move. Other cowboys shaking off sleep, rolling up their bedrolls. Someone coughs. A horse snickers softly. Then comes the smell that makes every weary man stir a little faster. Coffee. Cookie, the camp cook, is already at his chuck wagon, clanging pots and muttering to himself. The scent drifts through camp, strong, earthy, rich. You pull your hat beside you, the same sweat-stained Stetson that shielded your face from 100 suns. Your bandana lies nearby, ready to guard you from the day's dust. The trail boss's voice cuts through the quiet. Rise and shine, boys. Sun's comin' up. Them cows ain't gonna move themselves. The day has begun. You run a rough hand through your hair, feeling the grit that never truly washes out. Your boots sit nearby, and you give them a good shake. Scorpions love to sleep where feet belong. When you slide them on, the worn leather molds perfectly to your feet. You make your way to the chuck wagon, joining the line of tired men waiting for breakfast. The wagon is an old army model, fitted with a wooden box that holds everything needed for life on the trail. Beans, bacon, flour, salt, and a tin of coffee that seems like heaven itself. Cookie slaps a metal plate into your hands, piling it high with beans and bacon. You take it with a grateful nod. The food is simple, the same every day, but out here it's more precious than gold. You sit on the cool ground, the first sunlight creeping across the prairie. The horizon glows orange, the air warming. You sip the hot coffee slowly, feeling it burn and soothe your throat all at once. Another day begins, and the world feels both endless and small. Around you, 15 other cowboys eat in silence. These are men of every kind. Freed slaves, Mexican vaqueros, European dreamers, and boys born right here under the endless sky. Out here, titles and pasts don't matter. Everyone earns the same pay, faces the same dust, and fights the same fatigue. You hear the low rumble of laughter from the far side of camp, where Diego, one of the vaqueros, teases the trail boss about his singing voice. The easy camaraderie is comforting. In the harshness of the plains, small moments of humor are gold. You finish your meal, wiping the tin plate clean with a crust of bread. The air grows warmer now, the light sharper. Breakfast in 5, Cookie calls, his tone half warning, half invitation. You drain the last of your coffee and stand. Your body moves with practiced weariness, every motion a habit. It's time to pack up and move. You roll your bedroll tight, fingers moving by memory. Every man here has his own rhythm, his own small ritual before the day's long ride. Inside your roll lies everything you own: a spare shirt, an extra pair of socks, a pouch of tobacco, a straight razor, and a tattered photograph of your mother. It's not much, but it's all that ties you to the world beyond the trail. You tuck it away, careful and sure, and tie it down behind your saddle. Your boots sink slightly into the packed earth as you walk to your horse. Your gelding, a sturdy chestnut who's been your partner for years. You run your hand down his neck, feeling the warmth of his skin beneath the thin coat of dust. He turns his head toward you, ears flicking as if to say he's ready. You check his legs, his hooves, every strap and buckle of your saddle. Out here, a horse isn't just a companion. He's life itself, your freedom, your survival, your friend. A soft snort escapes his nose as you pat his flank. It's time. Mount up. The trail boss's call breaks the morning stillness. Around you, the camp comes alive. The clatter of hooves, the groan of leather, the murmur of men settling into their saddles. You swing up onto your horse, the movement smooth from years of habit. The saddle creaks beneath you, familiar as your own heartbeat. Your horse shifts, finding balance under your weight. The air smells of dust and sunlight, a scent you know better than any perfume. You pull your bandana up over your nose, ready for the storm of grit that will rise as soon as the herd begins to move. Ahead, the point riders are already steering the cattle from their bedground. The herd stirs, a sea of longhorns stretching far across the open prairie. Their lowing hum fills the air, deep and rhythmic, a sound that seems to vibrate through the ground itself. The day's work begins, and once again, the world narrows to horse, sky, and motion. The longhorns begin to move slowly, their horns gleaming in the strengthening sun. You ride flank today, your job to keep the herd tight, to chase down strays that wander too far. The cattle shift and murmur like waves, the sound blending with the wind. You guide your horse alongside them, your movements small and deliberate. A touch of heel, a flick of reins, a low whistle. This is your language. The animals understand it as surely as words. A cloud of dust begins to rise, coating everything in a fine tan film. You pull your hat low, your bandana tighter. The sun climbs higher, spilling heat across the land. Sweat beads on your forehead, rolls down your neck. The herd moves north, endless as the horizon itself. Each hoofbeat, each creak of leather, becomes part of a steady rhythm, the slow heartbeat of the trail. You breathe it in, dust and all, and settle into the long silence of the ride. A flicker of motion catches your eye. A young yearling breaking from the line. Without hesitation, you shift in the saddle. Your horse feels it instantly, lunging forward before you even lift the reins. The world sharpens, dust flying, hooves pounding, your lariat uncoiling in your hand. You swing once, twice, then release. The loop settles perfectly around the yearling's neck. Your horse braces, muscles bunching as you pull tight, turning the animal back toward the herd. For a moment, everything is movement, the thrill of the chase, the rush of air, the partnership between man and horse. When it's done, the yearling rejoins the herd, and you exhale, heart steady once more. You coil your rope carefully, looping it over your saddle horn. The excitement fades, replaced by the quiet monotony that follows every burst of action. The herd rolls onward. The dust rises again. The sun is high now, burning white and merciless. The air shimmers with heat, and the horizon wavers like water. Your shirt clings to your skin, damp with sweat that dries faster than it falls. You take a slow sip from your canteen, just enough to wet your tongue. The water is warm, tasting faintly of metal and dust, but it's precious. Too precious to waste. All around, the prairie stretches wide and empty. No trees, no shade. Just grass, dust, and the steady drone of flies. The cattle plod onward, their hides slick with sweat, their breath steaming faintly in the dry air. You shift in the saddle, feeling the ache settle deep in your bones. This is the heart of a cowboy's life. The endless ride, the quiet endurance, the patience of miles. No words, no hurry. Only the rhythm of hooves and the whisper of wind. Time itself seems to slow. The monotony brings memories. 2 years ago, a storm broke over a herd much like this one. Lightning flashed, thunder rolled, and the cattle bolted in terror. You remember the sound, that terrible, unstoppable thunder of hooves. Your friend Jackson rode beside you, shouting above the chaos. Then his horse stumbled. The herd swallowed him before anyone could reach him. You still see it sometimes when the night grows too quiet. His hand vanishing into dust. You swallow hard, pushing the thought away. The trail doesn't wait for grief. It simply moves forward mile after mile, like the slow turning of the earth. You reach down, pat your horse's neck, grounding yourself in the moment. He flicks an ear, steady and calm. The past is heavy, but the living still have work to do. You keep riding, always forward. The hours stretch long beneath the blazing sun. The herd moves at a steady, stubborn pace. 2,000 longhorns pushing north, their shadows short and sharp against the pale ground. The sound is constant. Hooves lowing, the faint jingle of spurs. Time loses meaning. Only the trail exists. You shift in your saddle, feeling your muscles protest. Your throat is dry again, lips cracked. Every breath tastes like dust and sunlight. Far ahead you can see the point riders, small figures against the horizon. Behind, the drag riders follow, swallowed by a cloud of dust. There's no conversation now, just the quiet endurance of men and animals bound by motion. The prairie hums with insects. The wind carries the scent of hot grass. You glance up, the sky a clear, endless blue. It's beautiful in its way, vast and humbling. You let the rhythm of your horse's gait lull your mind into quiet. The day goes on. By mid-afternoon, the light begins to shift. The golden edge of the sun softens, and long shadows start to creep across the plains. You feel the faintest coolness in the wind, a whisper of coming evening. The cattle sense it too. Their pace slows, their heads lowering as they graze on the move. You take another careful sip of water. The canteen is nearly half empty, but night isn't far now. A hawk circles high above, its cry cutting through the heavy air. Below, the land rolls gently, miles of grass broken by dry creek beds and the occasional clump of mesquite. You scan the horizon, watching for movement. Sometimes it's rustlers, sometimes wolves. More often, it's nothing but wind and your own imagination. Still you look. 'Cause out here being alert means staying alive. You shift in your saddle again, back aching, and sigh softly. Soon the trail boss will call to turn toward water. You're ready. The order comes just before sunset. Head east, there's a creek up ahead. You see the signal passed from rider to rider, hands raised, reins tugged, horses angling slightly. The herd responds slowly, the movement rippling like a wave through the cattle. Dust rises in golden clouds as they turn. You ease your horse along the flank, keeping the animals bunched but calm. The smell of water drifts faintly on the air, faint but real. Relief ripples through you. A good bed ground makes all the difference between a quiet night and chaos. The sun hangs low now, glowing orange-red across the horizon. It paints the world in color, the longhorns' coats glowing like fire, the sky burning above. It's the most beautiful hour of the day, the one that almost makes the pain worth it. Almost. You reach the creek just as the sun kisses the edge of the world. The cattle crowd forward, hooves churning the dry earth into soft mud as they drink. You dismount slowly, stretching stiff legs, every joint aching. The cool air off the water feels like mercy. You lead your horse to drink, running your hand along his neck as he lowers his head to the stream. He drinks deep, the sound of it soft and steady. Around you, other riders are doing the same, watering their mounts, loosening girths, speaking in low, tired voices. No one says much. Words feel too heavy after so many hours in the saddle. You kneel, splash cool water on your face. The sting of it wakes you slightly, but it also soothes. Dust washes away in brown streams, leaving the faint chill of evening behind. You breathe deeply. The long day is finally ending. Even exhausted, a cowboy's first duty is always his horse. You remove the saddle carefully, checking again for sores or swelling. The leather smells of sweat and dust. Your horse stands patient, ears flicking at flies, muscles twitching under his hide. You brush him down with handfuls of dry grass, loosening the crusted sweat. He sighs a deep, contented sound. Only when he's fed, watered, and tied for the night do you think of yourself. You straighten, stretch your aching back, and glance toward the chuck wagon. Smoke curls upward, a promise of food and warmth. The smell reaches you, rich and heavy. Beans, bacon, and coffee. It's the same meal as always, but out here, sameness is comfort. You run a hand through your hair, dusty and tangled, then head toward camp. The light fades quickly now. Stars are beginning to show. Cookie's already working, face half lit by firelight. His grumbling voice oddly soothing. He dishes out generous portions without looking up. You take your plate with a nod, sit near the edge of the fire's glow. The food is simple, beans and bacon again, but it tastes like heaven. The first bite fills you with warmth that spreads through tired limbs. Around the fire, the others eat in silence. Only the crackle of flames and the low murmur of cattle break the quiet. Above, the sky deepens into indigo. You can see every star, sharp and countless, scattered across infinity. You finish your meal slowly, savoring it, then take your tin cup of coffee. Strong, bitter, perfect. You sip, watching sparks drift upward into the night. A sense of peace settles in. Small, fragile, but real. The day's noise fades, replaced by the steady rhythm of breathing, wind, and fire. The trail boss calls out assignments for the night. Each man takes a turn, guarding the herd till dawn. Your name comes up for second watch, midnight until 3. It's not the worst shift. Gives you a little rest before and after. You nod, then stretch out your legs, finishing your coffee. The fire burns lower now, shadows lengthening. You walk to where your horse rests and check his tether. He lifts his head, snorts softly, then settles again. Satisfied, you return to your bedroll and lay it out on a patch of flat ground. You keep your boots close, always ready in case of trouble. Your saddle becomes your pillow, the wool blanket your only shield against the cooling night. Around you the camp grows quiet. Voices fade. The world exhales. You close your eyes for a moment, listening to the soft hum of the prairie. When you open your eyes again, full night has fallen. The sky is alive with stars, so many they seem to pulse like living things. The air is cool, almost cold, but clean and sweet. You pull the blanket tighter and stare upward, tracing familiar constellations. Somewhere in the distance, a coyote calls, its voice long and mournful. The cattle shift uneasily for a moment, then settle again as the night riders sing softly to calm them. Low voices drift through the darkness, slow and rhythmic, blending with the sound of wind in the grass. It's a strange kind of music, haunting, ancient, and beautiful. Your breathing slows, matching its rhythm. The ache in your body dulls. You feel yourself sinking into the earth, into the quiet vastness of the plains. For a moment everything is still. Peace, pure and deep, wraps around you like another blanket. You hover between sleep and waking. The faint glow of the dying fire flickers across the camp. You hear the steady steps of the night watch circling the herd, the soft jingle of a bridle, the murmur of a cowboy's tune. The sound is steady and low, like the heartbeat of the world itself. Your thoughts drift, to home, to faces long gone, to open roads and wide skies. The line between memory and dream begins to blur. The trail stretches endlessly before you, golden in the moonlight. You ride again in your mind, free and weightless. The stars above seem closer now, shimmering with a gentle light. You breathe out slowly, each exhale taking the day's weariness with it. Your heartbeat slows. Sleep draws nearer. Everything softens, everything fades. Only the sky remains. The night deepens, cool and silent. You're lying on the hard ground, but it feels softer now, as if the earth itself has accepted your tired body. The faint scent of grass and smoke lingers in the air. Your horse shifts somewhere close by, his breathing slow and steady. The herd murmurs in the distance, a sound like waves against a distant shore. You pull your blanket up to your chin and let your eyes close fully. The stars above shimmer faintly through your lashes. The world is vast, timeless and calm. Out here there's no clock, no noise, no city lights. Just the endless quiet of the prairie and the steady rhythm of your own breath. As your thoughts fade into the darkness, one truth remains. For all its hardships, the trail has its peace. The west holds you gently, like a lullaby made of wind and starlight. You drift into sleep beneath its watchful sky. A hand on your shoulder stirs you from dreams. Your turn, a low voice murmurs. You blink, eyes adjusting to the starlit dark. The fire has burned down to glowing embers, painting faint light across the camp. You sit up slowly, feeling every muscle protest. The night air is cold, your breath white in the stillness. You pull on your boots, shrug into your coat and rise. The world is silver and quiet, the kind of quiet that feels alive. The cattle stretch across the low ground ahead, their shapes soft shadows in the moonlight. You hear them shift and sigh, an ocean of living sound. You mount your horse, the leather creaking softly beneath you. With a gentle nudge, he steps forward into the night. The cool air clears your head. The stars above seem endless. The second watch has begun. You move slowly around the herd, keeping your distance. The cattle lift their heads as you pass, then settle again when you start to hum. Every cowboy has a tune for nights like this. Slow, low, something steady. Yours is half lullaby, half prayer. The rhythm of it keeps the animals calm and keeps your thoughts from wandering too far. From somewhere across the herd, you hear another voice, Diego's, deep and gentle, carrying through the darkness. His song weaves with yours like twin rivers joining. The effect is peaceful, mesmerizing. The cattle sigh and shuffle. The night feels vast but safe. The moon hangs low, bright enough to silver the edges of horns and grass. You feel small beneath it, but in the best way. Out here, there's a strange comfort in insignificance. You hum a little louder, voice blending with the wind. The hours pass quietly. The prairie whispers with soft sounds, wind brushing dry grass, the occasional rustle of movement, the distant cry of an owl. Each sound sharp but gentle, part of the rhythm of the night. Your horse's steps are light, practiced. He knows this path as well as you do. You shift in the saddle, scanning the horizon. Far to the west, lightning flickers. Silent for now, too far to fear. Still, you note its direction. Storms move fast out here. You glance at the herd, their shapes calm, their breath steaming faintly in the moonlight. All is well. You exhale, a long, slow breath that misted in the cold air. Time moves differently in the dark, not by hours or miles, but by the rhythm of your own heartbeat. And tonight that rhythm feels steady. A faint sound catches your ear, a low grunt, sharp, nervous. You straighten in the saddle, every sense alert. One of the steers jerks upright, eyes wide, nostrils flaring. Then another. You murmur softly, voice steady, trying to soothe them. Your horse shifts under you, tense but ready. The herd ripples, a few animals beginning to move, uncertain. A stampede can start from almost nothing, a flash of light, a sudden noise. You keep your voice low, singing again, the words slow and steady. Easy now, easy. The others hear you, their silhouettes turning toward the disturbance. Diego's voice joins yours from across the herd, steady as stone. Slowly, the restless movement fades. The cattle calm, heads lowering once more. You breathe out long and relieved. The danger passes as quietly as it came. The silence after tension feels heavier somehow, deep and complete. Your heart still beats fast, but the night has returned to calm. The stars glitter high above, indifferent and eternal. You let your shoulders relax, your song fading into the wind. The air smells faintly of rain, though the clouds are far off yet. You rub your horse's neck, feeling his muscles relax beneath your hand. "Good boy," you whisper. He snorts softly, tail flicking once, content again. The herd shifts lazily, some lying down, others chewing cud in half-sleep. You glance toward camp. A few dim embers still glow, casting a faint halo around the wagons. All is as it should be. You settle back into rhythm, horse walking slow and sure. The danger of the night has passed, leaving only peace. At last, the faintest light touches the eastern sky. It's not dawn yet, just the first hint of gray behind the stars. You circle the herd one final time, satisfied that all is calm. The next riders approach, silhouettes dark against the paling horizon. You nod in greeting as they pass, exchanging quiet words. Then you turn back toward camp, body heavy with fatigue. Your horse moves slower now, just as tired as you are. You dismount, loosening his cinch, and give him a gentle pat before leading him to rest. He lowers his head, already half asleep. You smile faintly. Then you spread your blanket beside the cold ashes of the fire. The ground is hard, but it might as well be a feather bed. Sleep comes before you even finish exhaling. You wake to the call of a crow. The world glows soft gold, the sun peeking over the horizon. Your body protests every movement, shoulders stiff, back sore, legs aching from the saddle. You sit up slowly, blinking against the light. Around you the camp stirs again. The smell of coffee drifts through the morning air, thick and familiar. Cookie's already at his post, grumbling as he stokes the fire. The sound of tin cups clinking mixes with quiet laughter. Another day on the trail has begun. You pull on your boots, shake out your blanket and stretch. Dust floats lazily in the golden light. Somewhere nearby, a horse whinnies, impatient to move. You smile, tired but calm. There's a strange peace in repetition, the knowing of what comes next. The trail boss calls out, his voice rough but sure. "Let's move, boys. Sun's up, and them cows won't walk themselves." The men answer with quiet grunts and laughter. You grab your plate, join the short line by the chuck wagon. Cookie hands you breakfast, beans and bacon again, hot and smoky. You take it gratefully, sitting on a nearby rock as the herd stirs awake. The cattle low softly, stretching, shifting. Your coffee burns your tongue, but you don't mind. The warmth feels good, grounding. You eat quickly, watching the horizon turn brighter, the sky deepening into blue. Dust from yesterday still clings to everything. Your clothes, your skin, your thoughts. You brush some off, knowing it's useless. Dust is part of life out here, as constant as the wind. You breathe it in and rise. Time to ride again. You check your horse before mounting. He's rested, alert, ears twitching as you approach. You run your hands along his legs, feel for heat or swelling. Nothing, he's sound. You tighten the cinch, adjust your stirrups, and climb into the saddle with a groan. Your body complains, but it feels right, like coming home to an old rhythm. The herd is already forming, the low murmur of cattle filling the cool air. The sun climbs higher, burning the dew from the grass. You settle into your place along the flank once more. Another long day stretches ahead, miles of dust, heat, and endless sky. Yet something about it feels right. This life, rough as it is, has its quiet beauty. You take a deep breath, tasting earth and sunlight. Then the herd begins to move. The morning unfolds in familiar rhythm. Hooves, dust, wind, breath. Each sound becomes part of a vast, steady song. You find comfort in the repetition. Every movement feels both old and eternal, as though the land itself remembers. The longhorns plod forward, tails flicking, horns glinting in the sun. You guide them gently, using the smallest gestures. Your horse moves beneath you like water. Smooth, sure, alive. You hum softly to yourself, letting the melody carry your thoughts away. The prairie rolls on, endless in every direction. No fences, no boundaries. Just freedom and dust and sky. It's a hard life, yes, but in this moment it feels pure. You ride on, breathing slow, body swaying in time with your horse. The trail hums beneath you, steady as a heartbeat. By midday the world blurs in heat. The sky burns white-blue, and the ground ripples like water. Sweat drips down your neck, soaking into your shirt. The air tastes dry and metallic like sun-baked earth. The herd moves slow, tongues hanging, sides heaving. Even the flies seem tired. You shift in your saddle, every inch of leather warm to the touch. There's no talking now, just the sound of hooves, steady and endless. You keep your eyes on the horizon, where the land shimmers and bends. No trees, no shade. Only the wide, empty beauty of the plains. A hawk circles high above, casting a brief shadow that feels like mercy. You let your thoughts drift, not forward or back, just floating in the heat. The trail, the herd, your heartbeat, they all become one slow rhythm. Time loses meaning. Only motion remains. The light plays tricks out here. Ahead you think you see water, bright, perfect, shimmering blue. But you know better. You've ridden this land long enough to know the difference between what's real and what's only heat. Still, the sight draws your eyes, a promise your body aches for. Your canteen's nearly empty again. You take a small sip, rolling the warm water across your tongue before swallowing. It's not enough, but it's something. The herd stumbles forward, hooves kicking up fine dust that sticks to your lips and lashes. Your horse breathes hard, his sides slick with sweat. You lean low, murmuring to him softly, a wordless comfort. He flicks an ear toward your voice. You ride together in silence, following the false shimmer that dances just out of reach. Always ahead, always vanishing. The call comes from up front. The trail boss rides back along the line, his horse lathered, his face hidden beneath the brim of his hat. Keep him tight, he calls. Water soon. Maybe an hour. The news passes like a breeze through the men. You straighten, energy flickering back. An hour isn't long, not after days like these. The herd senses it too. Their pace quickens, nostrils flaring as if they can already smell water. The boss rides past you with a nod. His eyes are sharp even in the heat. He's a man built by the trail, lean and worn but steady. You've followed him for months now, and in this life, trust like that means everything. You touch the brim of your hat in silent respect as he passes. Then you turn back to the herd, urging them onward with a whistle. The sun burns high, but water is coming. The next hour stretches forever. Each step feels heavier than the last. Your horse's breathing deepens, hooves dragging in the dust. The herd groans, low and weary, but still they move. You keep your eyes on the trail, scanning for any sign of change. A green patch, a darker line in the distance, anything that hints at life. Your shirt clings to you, soaked through. The world hums with heat. At times it feels like the whole land is breathing with you. Rising, falling, slow and endless. The horizon wavers. Then, faintly, you hear something new. The whisper of wind through trees. You lift your head. And there, a darker line breaks the monotony ahead. Cottonwoods. Where there are trees, there's water. A smile cracks across your dust-caked face. You whistle softly. Come on, boys. We're close. The first cattle reach the creek and rush forward. Hooves sliding down the bank. They drink greedily, snorting and splashing. You can hear the relief in the sound, a deep, collective sigh. You dismount, legs trembling as you hit the ground. You lead your horse to the edge, watching as he lowers his head and drinks. The water is muddy, warm, and perfect. You kneel beside him, cup your hands, and drink too. Tastes like life. You splash some on your face, feeling the dust run off in thin streaks. The world smells different here, green and wet and alive. Behind you, men laugh for the first time in hours, some even singing low, wordless tunes. For a moment the trail feels kind. You let the cool wind wash over you and close your eyes. Just breathing feels like a blessing. You find a patch beneath the cottonwoods and settle there, your back against a rough trunk. The bark presses into your shoulders, grounding you in the quiet. The air feels cool here, almost soft. Sunlight filters through the leaves, dappling your hat with gold. You take off your gloves and flex your fingers, sore, cracked, caked in trail dust. The simple act of stillness feels like luxury. Nearby, Cookie's already got a pot boiling for coffee. The smell drifts through the shade, mixing with damp earth and grass. You can hear the low murmur of the men talking, laughing in that easy, tired way. No one says much. Words aren't needed. You close your eyes for a minute, listening to the rustle of leaves, the slow rhythm of the creek. For the first time all day you feel something close to peace. Lunch on the trail is never fancy, just beans, jerky, and biscuits, but right now it tastes like home. You sit cross-legged, plate balanced on your knees, listening to the slow hum of conversation. The heat still lingers, but the shade softens it. A few horses stand in the creek, tails swishing lazily at flies. You take a bite of biscuit, dry and salty, and chase it with black coffee. It burns, but it's good. You feel life returning to your limbs. The trail boss sits nearby, quiet, hat pulled low. He's carving a new handle for his knife, slow, methodical. Around him, men doze or mend gear, each lost in his own world. The moment feels suspended, like time has loosened its grip. You finish eating, stretch out in the grass, and let your hat fall over your eyes. The creek sings softly beside you. Sleep comes like a slow tide. You drift into a shallow dream, the kind that feels half real. You hear rain before you see it. A soft, endless patter against dry ground. The smell of it fills your senses. Wet dust, cool wind, thunder far away. You stand in the dream, arms out, face lifted to the sky. Each drop feels like forgiveness. The land drinks deeply. When you open your eyes again, the dream lingers, the scent, the peace, the rhythm. But the world is still dry. The sky still pale. You sigh softly, smile faintly. Some dreams are worth having even if they don't come true. You sit up, brushing off bits of grass. The herd grazes quietly along the creek. Everything glows under the late afternoon sun. It's almost time to ride again. Mount up. The trail boss's voice cuts through the lazy calm. You rise, stretching the stiffness from your body. Your horse snorts as you tighten the cinch again, eager to move. The herd gathers slowly, reluctant to leave the water behind. You can't blame them. But there's miles to cover before nightfall. You mount, adjust your hat against the lowering sun, and fall into formation. The creek glimmers behind you like a memory. Ahead lies open land, shimmering gold in the late light. The wind shifts, cooler now, carrying the scent of distant rain. You glance at the sky, where gray clouds are forming on the edge of vision. Maybe tonight will bring a storm. You click your tongue and your horse steps forward. The herd follows. The trail continues. The afternoon fades slowly into gold. Each step of your horse feels measured, deliberate, steady. The cattle move in long shadows, horns catching the last light of day. The sky deepens into orange and pink, then violet at the far edges. You feel the temperature drop, the wind cooling as the sun sinks low. Dust hangs in the air like smoke, glowing softly. You watch it all unfold, that silent miracle of light and distance. Every evening feels the same and somehow brand new. You breathe deeply, letting the quiet sink in. This is the hour that always feels like prayer. The land soft, the herd calm, the sky endless. Another day nearly done. Another night waiting. You ride on, eyes fixed on the horizon, where the last fire of the sun fades into twilight. And the trail, steady, eternal, hums beneath you once more. As the last light fades, the trail boss raises his hand, signaling the herd to slow. The longhorns shuffle to a halt, lowing softly, their massive horns glinting in the dusk. The sound of them settling, the sighs, the shifting hooves, the creak of leather, becomes its own kind of music. You breathe in the cool air, rich with dust and sweat and the faint sweetness of prairie grass. The sky above melts from violet to indigo. Stars begin to pierce the dimming veil, one by one, until the heavens shimmer like silver dust scattered across dark silk. You dismount, legs stiff, and lead your horse toward the bedground. He moves easily beside you, tired but steady. Behind, the men call softly to one another, voices low and familiar, worn smooth by the rhythm of the trail. The day is over. The work, never truly done, pauses for breath. The chuck wagon rattles into place beside a small rise. Cookie's fire flares to life, its orange glow flickering against faces carved by wind and time. You can smell the beans cooking again, the bacon sizzling in a blackened pan. The scent drifts through camp, rich and comforting. You find a patch of ground near the fire and lower yourself onto it, joints protesting. Around you, men eat in near silence, too weary for talk. The flames crackle softly, sparks floating up to join the stars. Someone hums a slow tune, an old trail song half forgotten, carried on the breeze. You close your eyes, letting the warmth seep into your bones. In the distance, the herd murmurs like a sleeping ocean. You eat slowly, deliberately, each bite grounding you in the quiet. Above, a faint rumble rolls through the sky. Far off thunder. Storm is coming. You lift your head, sniffing the air. That scent, sharp and sweet, rain on dry ground. The wind shifts, cooler now, carrying whispers of thunder from the horizon. You see flashes of lightning far to the west, ghostly white against the clouds. The men notice too. The easy calm breaks, replaced by the quiet tension of experience. A storm means danger, not just wet gear and sleepless hours but stampede. The herd can smell it too. Their low murmurs grow restless, bodies shifting, horns brushing in the dark. You finish your meal quickly, setting the plate aside. The trail boss is already up, giving orders in that low, even voice of his. Keep 'em calm. Stay ready. You nod, tightening the straps on your saddle once more. The night feels electric, every sound sharper, every heartbeat louder. You can almost feel the storm's breath on your skin. The wind arrives first, a sudden rush through the grass, bending it low. Then the temperature falls, the air turning cool and alive. You pull your coat tighter, hat brim low. Lightning flashes again, closer now, followed by the crack of thunder that rolls like the world's own growl. The herd stirs, uneasy. You move your horse slowly around their edge, voice low, humming a tune you've sung 100 times. A cowboy's lullaby, meant not for people, but for cattle. It works most of the time. The first raindrops fall, heavy, warm, and sparse. They hit the dust and vanish in tiny puffs. And more. And more. Until the sound becomes a rhythm, steady and full. The rain finds every crease in your coat, runs down your face, gathers on your lashes. The smell of wet earth fills the air. The storm has arrived. Now the thunder comes faster, each flash of lightning tearing open the sky. The herd moans low, pressing together for comfort. You ride flank again, close to Diego, who shouts something you can't hear over the wind. Another bolt cracks nearby, lighting the world in stark white. For a moment, you see everything. The rolling sea of cattle, the men circling the herd, the sky boiling above. Then darkness swallows it all again. You keep humming, voice steady though your heart pounds. Your horse moves sure beneath you, every muscle tense but willing. Rain lashes your face, stinging, cold now. You feel alive, painfully, vividly alive in the chaos. And somehow, beneath it all there's peace. The kind that comes when there's nothing to do but trust the trail and hold your ground. Hours pass. At last, the storm begins to fade. The thunder drifts eastward, the lightning distant now, flashing like memory. Only soft rain remains, pattering gently on the grass. The herd settles again, their breathing slow and deep. You dismount, every part of you soaked and heavy. Your boots squish in the mud as you walk, checking the cattle, the ropes, the men. No one speaks. There's no need. The silence says enough. When you finally stop, you tilt your face upward, letting the cool drizzle wash the dust and sweat away. Feels clean. Renewing. The kind of quiet that only follows great noise. Somewhere behind you a coyote calls, long, low, mournful. The night exhales, and you with it. By the time the rain stops, night has fully fallen. The stars return, faint at first, then bright and endless. Cookie's fire burns low, its last coals glowing red in the damp air. The men roll out their blankets, some already asleep where they sit. But for you rest will wait. It's your turn for second watch. You pull on your slicker and mount again, guiding your horse in slow circles around the herd. They lie mostly still now, great dark shapes against the silvered grass. The only sounds are breathing, shifting, and the soft jingle of tack. You hum again, slow, tuneless, soothing. Old songs drift from memory. Lullabies, work chants, hymns half remembered from childhood. They blend with the sighing wind until even you can't tell where your voice ends and the prairie begins. The sky above you feels impossibly vast. Each star burns sharp, clear, close enough to reach. You ride slowly, the rhythm hypnotic. Your horse's hooves press softly into the wet ground. Every few minutes you check the herd, still calm, still breathing easy. The world feels suspended in this quiet. Time stretches, melts. You feel the ache of the day easing from your body, replaced by something deeper. Stillness. You look up again, tracing the arc of the Milky Way. Billions of stars, billions of suns. And you, a single rider beneath them. It's humbling and beautiful all at once. You breathe slow, matching the pulse of the earth beneath you. The trail, the sky, the silence, all of it folds around you like a blanket. Hours slip by unnoticed. The stars fade slowly into a pale, glowing gray. Somewhere in the east, the first hint of light spills across the horizon. Morning is coming. You feel it in the air. Cooler, softer, full of quiet promise. The herd begins to stir, shaking dew from their coats. You turn your horse toward camp, the faint smell of coffee already reaching your nose. Another night survived. Another day waiting. Your eyelids are heavy, but your heart feels strangely light. You pat your horse's neck and whisper, "Good work, boy." He flicks his ear as if he understands. The sky brightens, turning rose and gold. You exhale. It's time to start again. Back at camp, Cookie's fire crackles once more. The scent of bacon cuts through the cool dawn. Men move slowly, wordlessly, shaking off the long night. You slide from the saddle, legs trembling with fatigue, and hand your horse a small pat of grain. He's earned it. You drop beside the fire, accepting a tin cup of coffee with both hands. The steam curls up, warming your face. Around you, the world wakes. Coyotes fading into silence, birds beginning their morning calls. You take your first sip, eyes half closed. The bitterness is perfect. Tastes like life. Like another day you've made it through. The sun breaks the horizon, a glowing promise of heat to come. You smile faintly. The trail never ends, but neither does the dawn. The first golden light spills across the prairie, touching every blade of grass with fire. You stand, stretching sore muscles, feeling them protest in dull rhythm. Your breath clouds faintly in the chill air. It will be hot soon, but morning still clings to its coolness. You hear the soft rustle of movement as the herd begins to rise. Low groans, the shuffle of hooves, the clink of metal. The longhorns stretch their necks, shake the dew from their backs. A few calves bleat softly, searching for their mothers. You pour the last of your coffee on the ground, an old trail habit, a thank you to the land. Then you gather your gear, roll your blanket tight, and sling it behind your saddle. The sun is climbing, the world waking, and the day calls again. You swing into the saddle, the leather creaking under your weight. Another sunrise, another ride. The trail boss rides past, reins loose, face still shadowed beneath his hat. His voice cuts through the morning hum, steady and familiar. Point riders, move 'em north. Flank, keep tight. Let's make 10 before noon. You nod, falling into position. Around you the others do the same. No questions, no wasted words. Everyone knows what needs doing. That's the unspoken law of the trail. Rhythm, respect, and silence. Your horse shifts beneath you, eager to move. The herd lurches forward, a wave of sound and motion rolling across the open land. The day begins again, not with excitement but with purpose. In this world, each sunrise is both a blessing and a challenge. And you meet it the only way you know how, with quiet resolve and steady hands. The herd moves slow at first, hooves thudding against damp ground. The morning wind carries a cool freshness, tinged with the sharp scent of wet grass. But as the sun climbs higher, the earth begins to dry. Dust rises again, curling through the air, catching in your throat. You pull the bandana up over your nose, breathing through the fabric. The rhythm returns. Creak of saddle, clatter of hooves, the deep, constant hum of cattle. It's hypnotic. Sometimes hours pass before you even notice. Your thoughts drift like clouds, fragments of home, of voices long gone, of the life that waits beyond this endless trail. Then the wind shifts and all of that fades. There is only the present again. Sun, dust, horizon. The slow, steady beat of a cowboy's day. Mid-morning brings movement. Sudden, sharp. A young calf breaks from the herd, darting away through a gap. You see it at once and signal your horse with a light pressure of your heel. The gelding leaps forward, eager for the chase. The air rushes past your face as you ride, the world narrowing to the rhythm of hoofbeats. The calf runs hard, small legs pounding, but you're faster. Your rope is already coiled in your hand. One swing, smooth, sure, and the loop sails out, settling neatly around its neck. You pull the rope tightening. The calf stumbles, then stops, eyes wide. You ease the tension gently, murmuring soft words. Your horse shifts to block its path as you guide it back toward the herd. The dust rises around you, glowing in the morning light. Another small victory, unseen but felt. From your position at the flank, the world looks wide and endless. The herd stretches ahead, a moving sea of brown and gold. Each animal sways, horns glinting like pale ivory in the sun. You ride parallel, watching for strays, reading their movements like sentences in an old book. The trail itself winds like a ribbon through low hills and scattered mesquite. Far off, the horizon shimmers, broken only by the faint shapes of riders, silhouettes against the light. A hawk circles above, casting fleeting shadows over the cattle. Every detail, the sound, the smell, the weight of the air, feels etched into your bones. This is the rhythm of the drive, the endless patience it demands. There's beauty here, hidden in the repetition. You feel it even now beneath the ache and dust, the quiet pride of those who endure. By noon, the heat presses down like a hand. The air shimmers above the plain, the sky a fierce, merciless blue. Your shirt clings to you, sweat soaking the fabric. Even the cattle slow, tongues lolling, eyes heavy. The sound of their breathing fills the air. Slow, steady, labored. You take a small sip from your canteen, careful not to waste a drop. The water is warm, but it's life. The trail boss signals a brief rest. The herd pauses, bunching together in patches of thin shade. You dismount, leading your horse to a low patch of grass. He lowers his head, chewing slow. You wipe your brow, glance at the horizon, and see nothing but heat waves dancing. Still, it's beautiful, in its own harsh, unforgiving way. A world stripped bare, honest and infinite. You find a rock to sit on, pulling off your hat to wipe the sweat from your forehead. The silence of midday is strange, thick, heavy, almost alive. No wind, no birds, only the low murmur of cattle shifting in the heat. You take a bite of dried jerky, its salt sharp against your tongue. Your eyes half close as you watch the horizon waver. Here time bends. Minutes stretch into hours, hours fade into memory. You think of cool water, of shade that lasts longer than a few heartbeats. But you know better than to wish. On the trail, everything is earned, even rest. You lean back, listening to your horse breathe, steady and patient. Somewhere behind, Diego hums a tune, soft as the wind that isn't there. You smile faintly, and wait for the next call to ride. The boss raises his hand. Break's over. You rise, dust off your chaps, and pull yourself back into the saddle. The herd stirs again, reluctant but obedient. You whistle low, guiding them forward, watching their horns sway in rhythm. Your horse shifts beneath you, muscles alive, eager to move. The sky stretches above, vast and white, the kind of brightness that erases everything but itself. The sound of motion returns. Hooves, dust, leather, breath. The familiar music of the trail. You settle into it easily, body and horse moving as one. Each step carries you further, yet somehow always in the same place, between here and forever. You take another slow breath and let the day unfold. There's no rush. The trail sets its own pace. By late afternoon, the horizon has turned gold. The land seems endless, waves of grass catching the sun like an ocean of fire. You squint toward a far ridge, spotting dark shapes. Bison, maybe, or wild horses. For a moment, you imagine riding toward them, leaving the herd behind, chasing freedom into the unknown. But duty anchors you. This drive is your life, your promise, your wage. The herd depends on steady hands. You shift in the saddle, feeling the ache deep in your legs, and smile to yourself. There's peace in knowing your place. In this vast emptiness, belonging feels like the only luxury that matters. The sun lowers, the light softening into amber. You breathe it in slow and deep. The day begins to bow toward evening. The trail boss rides up again, tipping his hat. "Creek ahead," he says. "We'll camp there tonight." Relief ripples through the line. You can already smell water on the wind, cool and faint. The cattle pick up pace, their heavy heads lifting. Your horse flicks his tail, sensing rest ahead. The land dips gently, and you see the glint of the creek below, narrow silver waiting. The sun hangs low, painting the sky in strokes of rose and gold. You feel the tension in your body ease. Another day nearly done. Another piece of the journey behind you. The trail stretches on, but tonight there will be firelight, food, and the slow comfort of stars. You guide your horse down toward the water, heart quiet, spirit steady. The west exhales and you with it. The herd reaches the creek with a soft, collective murmur. Hooves sliding in wet mud. Water glimmers like a silver ribbon, reflecting the deepening twilight. The longhorns rush forward, nostrils flaring, heads dipping eagerly to drink. You dismount, legs stiff, boots sinking slightly into the soft bank. Your horse follows, lowering his head to sip. The air smells sweet and cool, a sharp contrast to the dust and heat of the trail. Around you, men begin to gather ropes, check tack, and guide the cattle into smaller, manageable clusters. Cookie's chuck wagon arrives, its wheels thudding softly on damp earth. The faint scent of coffee rises, warm and familiar. Even in exhaustion, you can't help a small smile. Rest is close, for now the world is calm, the herd settled, the creek whispering against the bank. You ride along the edges of the herd, guiding strays back into line. The cattle sway, hooves digging gently into the wet grass, bodies breathing slow. The sun dips lower, streaking the clouds with gold and pink. You take a deep breath, feeling the tension ease from your shoulders. Your horse shifts beneath you, muscles relaxing after the long ride. Diego hums a low tune across the water, voice soft as the evening breeze. The men move quietly, folding blankets, checking ropes, murmuring brief greetings. Even in routine, there's beauty in this simple choreography, the slow coordination of hands, hooves, and horns. The prairie stretches beyond, empty and infinite, shadows lengthening with each passing minute. You feel a rare sense of completion, a day's work done, night approaching, stars waiting. For the first time since dawn, you allow yourself to just be. The chuck wagon is positioned near the creek, wheels dug slightly into soft earth. Cookie moves efficiently, setting firewood, stoking embers, preparing beans and bacon once more. You help tie a few horses to posts, checking cinches, brushing dust from coats. Even the small tasks feel meditative, grounding you after the day's long ride. The sound of water running nearby mixes with occasional cow calls and low laughter. Boots sink slightly into mud, grass brushing legs, and the smell of wet leather and hay fills your senses. The trail boss walks slowly through the camp, surveying the work, nodding here and there. Men move in quiet rhythm, each understanding the importance of preparation for night. The sun dips behind a distant hill, sending long shadows across the grass. The world feels suspended, calm, as the day folds into evening. Horses watered, cattle tended. You kneel to check your own gear. Ropes coiled neatly, saddle oiled. Boots cleaned enough to prevent blistering overnight. Your fingers ache but feel alive, every cut, crack, and callus a reminder of the life you've chosen. Nearby, a calf nudges its mother, low bleats mixing with the creek's gentle flow. You pat your horse's neck, murmuring soft words. The men work quietly around you, forming a rhythm, tasks done together in silence. Above, the sky deepens from orange to purple. Stars begin to pierce the dusk. The air cools against sweat-damp skin. For a brief, perfect moment, everything is aligned. Herd, camp, horses, and the slow, measured heartbeat of the prairie. Cookie calls softly, voice carrying over the creek. Beans and bacon. Eat up. You grab a tin plate, savoring the smell, the warmth, the comfort. Around the fire, men settle on blankets or logs, heads low, faces lit orange by flame. The chatter is quiet, measured, more sighs and soft laughter than real words. You eat slowly, letting the beans and bacon ground you, filling spaces that dust and sun could not. Some men hum songs, others simply watch the herd, dark shapes outlined against the fading sky. The fire crackles, sparks floating upward, lost to the stars above. You take a long sip of coffee, letting the warmth seep into your chest. It's hard work, yes, but moments like this make it bearable. A soft pause in the endless journey across the plains. The camp quiets as night deepens. You sit on a log, legs stretched, hat pulled low over your eyes. The stars shine cold and infinite. The creeks whisper soft as a lullaby. You watch the herd, breathing steady, the low hum of animals soothing. Your hands rest on your knees, still aching, still rough, still yours. The wind shifts, carrying the faint scent of grass and distant hills. Your thoughts drift. Memories of home, family, friends, old towns. And yet out here you belong differently. To the sky, the herd, the trail, the endless horizon. There's freedom in it, quiet and complete. The ache in your body fades into the rhythm of the night. You exhale slowly, allowing yourself to simply be. The trail boss rises, hat in hand, signaling for the first watch to mount. You feel the weight of responsibility stir again. For men ride out quietly, circling the herd to keep it calm. You remain near camp for now, watching as the stars burn overhead. The fire's warmth dwindles, leaving only embers. The creek hums low and steady. The smell of wet earth lingers, cool and calming. The men who went out on watch murmur soft songs, rhythmic and steady, carrying through the night. Even in darkness there is order, structure, trust. You fold your hands over your knees, letting the quiet of the prairie settle around you. This night will pass as all nights do, slowly, measured, alive. The night grows deeper, wind still, stars endless. You close your eyes, listening to the gentle breathing of the herd. The faint murmur of water from the creek blends with the occasional snort of a horse. Time seems to slow, almost stop, each moment stretching soft and wide. You feel your heartbeat echo the rhythm of the land, slow and steady. Even the ache in your legs, the dust in your clothes, feels part of the lullaby of the prairie. Somewhere nearby, a coyote calls, its sound haunting and beautiful. You breathe in the night, letting it fill your lungs, cool and gentle. The world is quiet, infinite. Your thoughts drift as slowly as the clouds that pass before the stars. Sleep seems close, just beyond reach. You spread your blanket on soft grass, boots still on, hat pulled low over your eyes. The fire is a soft glow, fading, sparks lost to the heavens. The herd lies around you, dark shapes against silvered grass. The creek whispers its lullaby. You close your eyes, letting every muscle sink into the earth. Your thoughts drift gently, untethered. The ache, the heat, the dust, all melt into the background. Above, stars pulse softly, countless eyes watching. You feel the vastness of the prairie, the depth of night, the quiet patience of animals around you. Everything slows, everything softens, and you float, suspended in the rhythm of this endless, peaceful night. Your breath matches the gentle sway of your horse as it grazes nearby. The sounds of the prairie, wind, water, cattle, become indistinguishable from your own heartbeat. Sleep hovers close, a warm, soft presence. You think of nothing in particular. The ache in your back, the calluses on your hands, the dust in your hair. They exist, yes, but they feel distant, softened by night. Somewhere across the herd, Diego hums again, slow and low. Your mind drifts with the tune, a river carrying you gently toward rest. The stars above are infinite. The prairie stretches farther than imagination. And for this one night, you belong entirely to the land, the herd, and the quiet. A gentle hand shakes your shoulder. Your turn, a voice whispers through the dark. You blink awake, the world dim, silvered by moonlight. The air is cool now, crisp, the heat of day forgotten. You rise slowly, blanket falling away, joints stiff from sleep. Your horse waits patiently nearby, eyes reflecting faint light. You saddle him quietly, careful not to disturb the others. The camp is a patch of shadows, still except for the soft breathing of men and cattle. As you swing into the saddle, the leather creaks softly, the only sound in the sleeping world. You turn your horse toward the herd, the slow rhythm of hooves muffled in grass. Above, the stars burn bright and steady. Night watch begins, and with it comes a deep, peaceful solitude. The cattle lie scattered across the prairie, dark humps against the faint gleam of dew. Now and then one shifts, lowing softly before settling again. The air smells faintly of damp earth and grass, cool and clean. You ride slowly around the herd, your eyes scanning for motion, your ears tuned to every sound. Your horse moves with you, steps cautious, head low. Somewhere far off, a night bird calls, echoing through the open land. You hum quietly, an old tune, one your mother used to sing. The soft melody drifts across the herd, calming, constant. The cattle recognize it. They breathe easier, heads lowering. The moon slides behind thin clouds, and the world grows darker still. Your voice fades into silence, replaced by the slow rhythm of night. The prairie stretches out before you, endless and pale in the moonlight. It glows faintly, a silver sea where the grass moves like waves. You pause for a moment, reins loose, simply watching. The night feels alive, quiet but full of hidden sounds. A breeze whispers across your face, cool and steady. It carries the scent of water, grass, and something faintly sweet, wildflowers perhaps blooming unseen in the dark. Your horse flicks an ear, sensing your calm. In this light, the world feels softer, distant, almost unreal. You breathe deeply, filling your lungs with the clean air, letting the coolness wash away the dust of the day. Time slows again. There is no hurry, no noise, no burden, only the hum of life beneath the stars. A sudden rustle breaks the stillness. Your horse tenses, ears forward. You tighten your grip on the reins, eyes scanning the edge of the herd. A dark shape moves near the creek. Low, smooth, silent. You hold your breath, waiting. Then two small points of light, eyes reflecting moonlight. A coyote, thin and cautious, testing the boundary between hunger and danger. You whistle softly, a sharp note that cuts through the night. The animal freezes, then slips away into the grass, vanishing like smoke. The herd stirs briefly, a few low calls, then settles again. You exhale, shoulders relaxing. Such moments are common, but they never lose their edge. You pat your horse's neck, whispering praise. All is calm once more. Time moves differently out here. Minutes stretch into hours, and hours blend together until you lose track completely. You ride your slow circle, eyes half-lidded, body moving with your horse in quiet rhythm. The world is soundless except for breath. Yours, the horse's, the herd's. Each inhale feels deep, grounding. Each exhale a release. The stars shift almost imperceptibly, sliding westward. Your eyelids grow heavy, but you keep moving. The trick is never to stop. Stillness invites sleep, and sleep invites danger. You whisper to your horse, to yourself, to the night. Little things, fragments of thought, song, memory, float in and out of your mind. You exist between waking and dreaming, part of the vast, breathing land. A faint sound. Hoofbeats approaching through grass. Two riders appear, silhouettes against the faint horizon glow. Your replacements. You feel relief and a little regret. The quiet of night watch is hard, but it's also sacred. You nod to the men, exchanging soft words as they pass. Nothing to report, you murmur. They nod back, voices low, eyes scanning the herd. You turn your horse toward camp, body heavy with fatigue. The fire is down to faint embers, glowing like scattered stars on the ground. You unsaddle your horse in silence, pat his neck, and lead him to rest. Then you crawl beneath your blanket, the earth cool beneath you. The moment your head touches the saddle pillow, sleep takes you. Sleep comes fast, deep and strange. You dream of home, though the edges blur. The scent of bread baking. The sound of rain on a tin roof. Your mother's voice calling you inside. Then the sound shifts. Hoofbeats, wind, laughter carried across plains. You see open skies, endless grass, herds moving like shadows. You're both there and not, drifting through time like a ghost. It's peaceful, the kind of dream that feels more like memory than fantasy. The boundaries of past and present dissolve. You are simply part of the West, the dust, the stars, the sound of wind. When you wake, you'll remember none of it clearly, only the warmth it left behind. A whisper of pink touches the eastern horizon. The air is cool, damp with dew. You stir beneath your blanket, the chill pressing gently against your skin. The prairie hums with early life. Crickets fading, birds beginning. Somewhere cookies' fire crackles to life again. The scent of coffee drifts through camp, dark and welcome. You push yourself up slowly, shoulders stiff, breath misting faintly. Another day is coming. Another ride, another stretch of dust and sun. But for this moment the world feels new, quiet, forgiving. You watch as light spills over the land, painting it gold. The cattle rise, moving like shadows into day. And you, weary but alive, rise with them. No one speaks much in the early light. The men move automatically, rolling blankets, tightening saddles, checking bridles. The creek glows softly under dawn's touch, and mist curls like smoke over the water. Your horse nudges your shoulder, eager for movement. You smile faintly, pat his neck. He's as much a creature of routine as you are. Cookie ladles out coffee, muttering half-hearted complaints as he does. You take your cup, the warmth seeping into your hands. Around you, the camp stirs with slow, steady life. You sip, eyes half closed, letting the steam rise into the chill air. The new day waits beyond the horizon, vast, demanding, endless. But for now, you linger in this hush between worlds. The trail boss's voice cuts through the morning stillness. Mount up. The same words, the same rhythm, the same life. You move without thought, packing your gear, tightening straps, securing your bedroll. The horses snort, restless, hooves striking against stone. The first light turns the herd into living gold, horns flashing as they shift and move. You swing into your saddle, the leather creaking familiarly beneath you. Ahead, the prairie stretches wide, miles of grass, dust and sun. Behind, the campfire dies quietly, leaving only the scent of smoke and coffee. You take a deep breath, touch your hat brim to the rising sun, and nudge your horse forward. The trail continues, and so do you. The sun rises slowly, casting long shadows across dew-damp grass. The creek glimmers like molten silver, reflecting clouds tinged pink and gold. You sit in your saddle, chest heavy with sleep but heart steady. The herd stirs, the longhorns shifting, lowing softly as the heat begins to build. Around you, men move with practiced precision, adjusting tack, checking saddles, humming soft tunes. Your horse shifts beneath you, ears flicking to the soft murmur of life waking. The prairie feels infinite, stretching in every direction, empty but full of quiet promise. You inhale deeply, tasting dust and dew, sweat and earth, letting the rhythm of the trail settle into your bones. Another day begins, slow and relentless, but full of the subtle beauty of wide-open land. The trail boss signals, and the herd begins to move. Point riders push from the front, flanks guide the edges, drag riders nudge strays into line. You ride alongside Diego, both of you scanning the herd for any hint of wandering cattle. Dust rises, curling in golden waves behind hooves. The sun climbs, warming your back, glinting off leather and steel. Every sense is alert, every muscle engaged, but there's a rhythm here, a steady flow you've learned to follow. You hum quietly under your breath, letting it blend with the low murmurs of the cattle. Your horse responds instinctively, shifting with subtle pressure of legs and reins. Hours stretch, endless, but there is a strange peace in it. The monotony becomes its own kind of comfort. By late morning, the dust thickens, curling around your boots and coat. The wind picks up, carrying grit that clings to your eyes, throat and hair. You pull your bandana higher, tug your hat low. The herd plods forward, swaying like waves. Your arms ache slightly from holding the reins. Your legs sore from hours in the saddle. But still you ride, moving with the herd, adjusting to every twitch of muscle, every shift in posture. The prairie stretches endlessly, a sea of gold and brown. Above, the sky is pale and wide, sun relentless. Yet in this vast, dusty solitude, you find a strange rhythm, a lullaby in motion, the endless beat of hooves and leather, dust and wind. Time itself seems to slow, stretching each moment into infinity. A movement catches your eye, a young longhorn breaking from the line. Instinct kicks in, heart picking up in quiet rhythm. You shift your weight, signal your horse, and move along the flank. The calf dashes, narrow legs pumping through the dust. Your rope coils in your hand, familiar and reassuring. One smooth motion, one precise swing, and the loop settles around the neck. Your horse braces instinctively as you guide the animal back toward the herd. The yearling stumbles briefly, then finds its footing. You breathe slowly, letting the adrenaline fade into satisfaction. Another small victory, unnoticed by most, yet it feels monumental. The dust swirls around your boots, around the cattle, around the endless horizon. The sun climbs higher, relentless and harsh. The trail boss signals a brief halt near a cluster of sparse trees. The cattle graze in patches of shade, heads low, tails flicking. You dismount carefully, boots sinking into the warm earth. Your horse grazes beside you, muscles rippling beneath slick hide. You take a sip from your canteen, careful to conserve water. Men move quietly around camp, adjusting blankets, checking ropes, sharing silent nods. The wind shifts occasionally, carrying scents of dust, earth, and distant wildflowers. The world feels vast and suspended. Time stretches, but there is no rush, no urgency beyond the gentle pulse of hooves and the slow, steady beat of the sun. Diego rides beside you, voice low. They speak softly, sharing small stories, old jokes, memories from home. The words are gentle, carried lightly over the hum of hooves. You respond with a nod or a quiet laugh, letting the conversation drift like smoke into the prairie air. Even amidst dust and sweat, these moments are precious, reminders that there is companionship beyond the herd. You glance around at the endless grass, the blue sky, the stretching horizon. There is peace here, understated and rare. The cattle graze and move, the sun climbs, and your body melts into the rhythm of riding, talking, breathing, and simply being. By noon, the sun beats down without mercy. The air above the trail shimmers, making the world seem as though it's moving in waves. Your shirt clings, sweat trickles down your back, and dust coats your face. The cattle slow, tails swishing toward flies, nostrils flaring. You sip sparingly from your canteen, savoring every drop. The trail boss rides ahead, pointing toward a distant hill, signaling the herd to keep steady. Even in the heat, there is rhythm. Hoofbeats, shifting cattle, creak of leather, murmurs of men. The prairie feels infinite, oppressive yet beautiful. You close your eyes briefly, letting your senses adjust, letting the dust and sun lull you into a slow, steady pace. A yearling breaks again, darting toward the edge of the herd. You move instantly, pressing your horse into the chase. Dust rises around your boots, filling the air with familiar grit. The calf twists and turns, instinctive and wild, but you mirror its movements. The rope swings from your hand, an extension of your will, of your skill. The loop lands around the calf's neck. Your horse braces, muscles tensing, then relaxes as you guide the animal back to the fold. The longhorn rejoins the herd, heads down, tails swishing. You breathe slowly, savoring the precision, the connection between rider, horse, and cattle. The world hums around you. Dust, wind, sun, and motion. The sun begins its slow descent, the light softening, golden. The herd bunches together as they approach a small creek for water. You ride along the flank, guiding strays, nudging animals gently with your legs. The cattle drink, lowing softly, tails flicking. Your horse steps carefully, hooves sliding slightly in the wet bank. Men move around camp, calling softly, checking ropes, preparing for night. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, quieting as the day wanes. Even in exhaustion, there is satisfaction. The herd safe, the trail intact, the sun painting long shadows across the earth. You breathe deeply, letting the golden light seep into your skin, filling you with calm. The last light clings to the horizon, painting the sky in reds and purples. The creek reflects the fiery glow, water rippling gently under fading light. You dismount, legs trembling from hours in the saddle, boots sinking slightly into soft earth. Your horse grazes quietly, tail flicking, muscles easing. The men move slowly, checking gear, speaking softly, preparing for the evening meal. Cookies' fire crackles, a comforting warmth in the cooling air. You take a deep breath, inhaling the scent of wet earth, dust and smoke. The herd settles near the creek, bodies shifting, heads low. Night will come soon, stars will emerge, and the slow, endless rhythm of life on the trail will continue. The sun dips below the horizon, leaving streaks of pink and orange in its wake. The prairie darkens slowly, the gold of the day giving way to violet and indigo. The herd grazes quietly, heads low, tails flicking lazily. You dismount carefully, muscles stiff from hours in the saddle. The creek ripples faintly, catching the last light, sending silver glimmers across the water. Your horse lowers its head to drink, nostrils flaring. Around you, men finish their tasks, folding blankets, securing gear, preparing for night. Evening comes gently here, unhurried, natural, a soft sigh across the open land. You breathe in the cool air, letting the quiet of the prairie seep into your bones. The day is behind you. The night waits ahead, full of stars and whispered rhythms. Cookie's fire crackles to life, casting warm orange light across darkening faces. The men gather slowly, tired and silent, plates in hand. The smell of beans and bacon fills the air, rich and comforting. You sit near the flames, back aching, boots dusty, fingers still rough from the day's work. The fire flickers across faces, shadows dancing on blankets, hats and saddles. Some men hum softly, some simply sit, staring into the glow. The herd rests nearby, bodies shifting gently, low murmurs filling the space between the crackle of fire and the whisper of water. You take a sip of coffee, letting warmth spread through your chest. Even in exhaustion there is peace here, quiet, unspoken, infinite. Horses watered, bridles checked, ropes coiled neatly. The night is falling fast, the chill creeping in as the fire flickers. You pat your horse's neck, feeling the heat fade beneath soft fur. The herd settles closer to the creek, bodies nestled into patches of grass. Men move silently, voices low, hats pulled down against the cool evening air. Cookie mutters something about biscuits, stirring the embers with practiced hands. Every task is measured, deliberate, preparing for the long, dark hours ahead. The sky deepens to navy blue, stars beginning to pierce through. You breathe deeply, listening to the soft shuffle of cattle, the distant creak, the gentle crackle of fire. The world feels wide, calm, suspended between dusk and darkness. Night stretches fully across the prairie, a dark, endless canopy above. Stars appear gradually, bright points piercing the deep indigo. You lie back on your bedroll, blanket pulled up, boots beside you. The herd is calm, a soft hum of breathing and shifting filling the air. Your horse grazes nearby, occasionally snorting softly. The cool air carries scents of water, grass, and smoke from the fading fire. Everything feels slowed, hushed, as though the world itself is holding its breath. You watch the stars emerge, letting the vastness above soothe your mind. Every ache in your body softens, every dust grain and sweat droplet fades into background. Here under this open sky you can finally let go, drifting toward rest. A hand shakes your shoulder gently. Your eyes open to the dim light of embers and moon. "Time to ride," a quiet voice says. You rise carefully, muscles stiff, and swing into the saddle. For men ride the perimeter of the herd, silent, eyes scanning for movement. The cattle lie scattered, shifting occasionally, tails flicking, low calls murmuring across the night. Your horse moves steadily, ears alert, breathing slow. Above, stars stretch endlessly, infinite points of calm. The world narrows to soft hoofbeats, gentle wind, and the quiet rhythm of night. You hum softly, a tune blending with the prairie's gentle noises. Time moves differently here. Measured, slow, almost like breathing. The herd breathes in slow rhythm, bodies warm and heavy against cool night air. The creek whispers, water brushing gently over stones. Your horse moves quietly, muscles shifting beneath your hands. The wind carries the faint scent of grass, dust, and distant hills. You hum, voice low, letting sound drift over cattle and men alike. Somewhere far off, a coyote calls, sharp and haunting. The sound blends with the night, stirring no panic, only awareness. You watch shadows play across the ground, shifting slowly like the world itself is breathing. Every sense sharp yet calm, attuned to the subtle pulse of life around you. The prairie is infinite, quiet, and patient. Your voice joins the others, low, steady, a soft melody drifting across the sleeping cattle. Men hum too, each note careful, rhythmic, reassuring. The longhorns shift slightly, tails flicking, settling again. Your horse's ears flick with each sound, calm beneath your hands. The air is cool, the firelight fading, the creek murmuring. Time stretches slowly, the night deepening, unbroken. Your mind begins to loosen, drifting with the gentle sounds. Each breath becomes a wave, each heartbeat a soft drum. The prairie seems to fold around you, infinite and safe. Here between dusk and dawn, nothing matters but quiet, rhythm, and rest. Your shift ends, and you dismount with careful movements. The blanket feels cool beneath you, the earth firm and forgiving. Your horse grazes nearby, reins loosely held. The herd lies settled, the soft lowing fading into silence. Stars blanket the sky, each one steady, unchanging, patient. You pull the blanket higher, letting the cool air brush over tired skin. Your body relaxes completely, every ache melting slowly into the earth. Evening hums softly, the creek, fire, and night wind blending into one gentle lullaby. Sleep hovers close, inevitable and soothing. You close your eyes, letting the prairie cradle you, safe under infinite stars. The world grows darker still, the fire now mere embers. The creek murmurs in constant rhythm, a soft lullaby against the quiet of the herd. Horses shift occasionally, settling again. The men lie on bedrolls, hats pulled low, breathing slow. You listen, letting sound fill your mind without thought. The stars pulse faintly above, distant and reassuring. Dust, sweat, ache, and fatigue fade into the night. Every muscle relaxes, every thought slows. You are part of the prairie, part of the herd, part of the endless rhythm of life on the trail. Sleep drifts closer, inevitable and warm. Your blanket wraps you like a soft cocoon, boots still beside you. The world outside is infinite, quiet, unhurried. The herd breathes softly, the creek whispers gently, the embers glow faintly. Your horse rests, head lowered, body warm beneath moonlight. You close your eyes completely, letting fatigue and time dissolve. Every sound, hoof, murmur, water, wind, becomes a part of a slow lullaby. The prairie cradles you, vast, patient, infinite. Night stretches on deep and safe. And at last, your mind drifts fully into sleep, carried gently by the rhythm of the trail. The sky is still dark, faint streaks of light brushing the horizon. You stretch slowly, muscles stiff from yesterday's ride and last night's watch. The herd lies calm, bodies shifting gently in the cool, damp grass. The creek reflects the pale first light, water whispering softly. You pat your horse's neck, brushing dust from its coat, feeling the familiar warmth beneath your hands. Men around camp move quietly, hats low, boots careful on soft earth. Cookie begins stirring embers for the first coffee of the day. You inhale the crisp morning air, tasting dew, grass, and faint smoke. Even in the cold, the prairie feels alive, infinite, patient, unhurried. Another day on the trail waits, slow and relentless. The first sun stretches over the horizon, washing the prairie in soft gold. You swing into the saddle, the leather creaking under your weight. The herd begins to stir, longhorns shifting, lowing quietly. Point riders move ahead, guiding cattle through the golden morning light. The trail boss signals and flanks tighten, drag riders move closer. Your horse responds to subtle cues, muscles tensing, then easing with each gentle shift. Dust rises behind hooves, curling in warm beams of sunlight. Even in routine there is beauty, the slow rhythm of herd, rider, and horse in unison. You breathe deeply, the smell of earth, grass, and sweat filling your lungs. The day stretches wide, infinite, and the rhythm carries you forward. The sun climbs higher, warming your back, drying sweat-soaked shirts. Dust rises thickly, clinging to your hair, eyes, and skin. You pull your bandana high, tug your hat low, and adjust reins. The herd moves steadily, hooves sinking into dry earth. Your arms ache from holding the reins, but you remain alert, watching every shift in posture, every stray movement. The prairie stretches endlessly, golden and harsh. Somewhere, distant hills shimmer in the heat waves, edges blurred. Time slows here, each step measured, each breath deliberate. Even exhaustion becomes rhythm, fatigue blending into the hum of the herd. You hum softly to yourself, voice lost in dust and wind, letting the prairie's endless motion soothe you. A small calf strays from the herd, quick and nervous. You shift your weight, signaling your horse to respond. Dust swirls around hooves as you close the gap, rope coiled and ready. The calf darts left, then right, instinctive, wild. Your horse mirrors your movements flawlessly, muscles tense, eyes sharp. A swing of the rope, a careful loop, and the calf is guided gently back into the fold. You breathe slowly, letting adrenaline fade into satisfaction. The herd shifts behind you, low murmurs mixing with wind and dust. For a brief moment, everything is aligned: horse, rider, cattle, and land. The prairie stretches beyond, infinite and calming, carrying you forward in gentle rhythm. The sun is high, heat relentless, baking the prairie grass. The trail boss signals a break under a sparse cluster of trees. Cattle graze lazily, heads low, tails flicking. You dismount slowly, boots sinking into warm earth, muscles stiff. Your horse grazes nearby, flanks rising and falling with each breath. Men move quietly, adjusting gear, folding blankets, checking ropes. The wind is faint, carrying dust, earth, and the smell of distant wildflowers. You sip sparingly from your canteen, letting the cool water soothe dry lips. Even amid exhaustion, there is peace, a slow, meditative pause in the endless motion of the trail. Time stretches, the day unfolding in golden, dusty light. Diego rides beside you, voice low and easy. They tell a story from home, small laughter threading through words. You respond quietly, nods, small smiles, letting conversation drift like smoke. The cattle graze and move, the herd's hum blending with voice and hoofbeats. Even amidst sun, dust, and sweat, companionship is precious, a tether to life beyond motion. The prairie stretches endlessly, infinite, patient. Men move together in unspoken rhythm, each action measured and deliberate. The world narrows to soft conversation, gentle motion, and the warm rhythm of living beings in sync. The trail carries on, endless and comforting in its repetition. By afternoon, heat rises in wavering waves above the trail. Your shirt clings, sweat drips, dust coats your skin. The cattle slow, swaying in rhythm with each step. You sip from your canteen sparingly, conserving water, letting warmth settle into your muscles. The horizon wavers, distant hills blurring in golden haze. Your horse's flanks ripple with each movement, steady and reliable. Even fatigue becomes rhythm, merging with dust, sun, and endless prairie. You hum softly, letting the melody float across the herd. Time slows, each motion deliberate, each breath measured. The day stretches wide, golden, and unbroken, infinite in its vast sun-baked beauty. A yearling veers toward the edge of the herd, muscles taut, nostrils flaring. You signal your horse, close the gap, rope coiled and ready. The calf darts, turns, and pivots instinctively, wild yet predictable to an experienced eye. Your swing is smooth, rope landing around the neck perfectly. Your horse braces, muscles taut, then eases as you guide the calf back into line. The herd shifts behind, low murmurs rising in soft rhythm. Adrenaline fades into calm satisfaction. The prairie stretches beyond, infinite, golden, and quiet. The rhythm of rider, horse, and cattle carries on, steady, slow, and hypnotic. Every motion is deliberate, every breath synchronized with the pulse of life on the trail. The sun leans west, casting long shadows across golden grass. The cattle graze more steadily, heads lowered, tails flicking lazily. You ride along the flank, nudging strays gently, guiding the herd with soft cues. Your arms ache, legs throb, but your body moves in familiar rhythm. Dust swirls faintly around boots and hooves, catching sunlight in tiny golden clouds. Men move quietly nearby, hats low, voices hushed. The trail boss rides ahead, signaling slow adjustments to the herd. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, quieting as the day wanes. Even in fatigue, there is satisfaction. The herd safe, the trail intact, and the sun painting long, restful shadows across the land. The horizon hints at a gentle rise, promising soft grass and water. The herd moves steadily, low murmurs blending with a distant creek. You guide strays, nudging calves gently, reinforcing line with soft words and quiet motions. The trail boss points toward the creek, signaling bedground ahead. You breathe slowly, chest expanding, letting fatigue blend into anticipation. Your horse responds, muscles flexing, eyes alert, steady beneath you. The prairie stretches wide, golden, infinite, the perfect lull before evening. Men move quietly, checking ropes, adjusting gear, humming soft, low tunes. Evening promises rest, food, and the comforting rhythm of a day well completed. The chuck wagon arrives near the creek, wheels sinking softly in damp earth. Cookie stirs embers, calling softly as he begins evening meal preparations. The smell of beans, bacon, and coffee drifts through the air, comforting and rich. You dismount slowly, legs stiff, boots sinking slightly into soft grass. Men gather around, hats low, faces illuminated by firelight. Some hum, some simply sit quietly, listening to water, wind, and distant cattle calls. Your horse grazes nearby, tail flicking lazily, muscles easing. The prairie stretches infinite in the fading light, shadows long and soft. Even exhaustion melts into calm, the quiet rhythm of camp enveloping you. The night approaches, slow, steady, hypnotic. Horses watered, bridles checked, ropes coiled neatly. The herd settles near the creek, bodies shifting gently in the grass. Men move quietly, hats pulled down, voices hushed, preparing for the night. The fire crackles softly, casting warm light across tired faces and blankets. You pat your horse's neck, brushing dust from its coat, feeling warmth beneath your hands. The prairie stretches vast and patient, shadows deepening. Every task is deliberate, every breath measured. Night settles slowly, gently around camp. You exhale deeply, letting the fatigue of the trail dissolve. The world narrows to fire, creek, herd, and infinite stars above. The sky deepens to navy blue, stars beginning to pierce the darkness. You lie back on your bedroll, blanket pulled high, boots beside you. The herd breathes softly, lowing occasionally, shifting gently. The creek hums its endless lullaby. Every ache in your body softens, every dust grain fades into background. You watch stars emerge, letting the vastness above soothe your mind. Thoughts drift slowly, memories of home, distant towns, friends lost along the trail. Even in recollection, the prairie remains infinite, calming, patient. You exhale, letting your body and mind settle into the rhythm of night. Sleep hovers close, inevitable and gentle. A hand nudges your shoulder softly. Your eyes blink open to dim embers and moonlight. Your turn, a low voice murmurs. You rise slowly, muscles stiff, swinging into the saddle. For men ride the perimeter of the herd, quiet, vigilant. Cattle lie scattered, lowing softly, tails flicking. Your horse moves steadily, breathing calm. The stars stretch endlessly overhead. Night becomes rhythm, hoofbeats, wind, creek, and the soft pulse of life around you. You hum quietly, letting the melody blend with the prairie's gentle sounds. Time stretches, slow and infinite. The prairie darkens further, hills shadowed in deep blue. You ride slowly, scanning the herd for strays or sudden movements. The wind carries faint scents of grass, earth, and distant smoke. Horses shift beneath riders, muscles relaxing in the cool night air. The herd breathes in soft, slow rhythm, bodies warm in the chill. Stars above pulse faintly, countless and patient. You hum softly, low and rhythmic, letting sound drift over cattle and land. Everything slows, every breath, every hoofbeat, every thought. The prairie holds you gently, infinite, calm and eternal. Your horse shifts beneath you, muscles relaxing under the pale glow of the moon. The herd lies calm, bodies rising and falling gently with each breath. You scan the edges of the group, eyes adjusting to shadows. The creek whispers faintly, water brushing over stones in endless rhythm. Men ride silently nearby, breath steady, hands loose on reins. Above, stars glitter like scattered embers across the deep indigo sky. The night feels suspended, infinite and patient. Every sound, hoofbeat, low cattle murmur, distant coyote call, blends into a slow lullaby. Your body aches, but each movement is deliberate, each glance measured. The prairie holds you gently, a vast, silent companion. A gentle breeze stirs, carrying the scent of damp earth and faint wildflowers. Your horse flicks its ears, tail swishing lazily. The herd shifts slightly, lowing softly, tail tips brushing tall grass. You breathe in the cool night air, letting it wash over tired muscles. The stars shimmer above, countless points of calm. Somewhere distant, a coyote's call echoes, sharp but non-threatening. Your hand rests lightly on the saddle horn, steady, knowing. The prairie hums in slow rhythm, wind, water, hoofbeats, quiet human murmurs. Time stretches, unbroken, every motion deliberate, every breath measured. You hum softly, voice blending with night, letting the prairie cradle you in its vast, patient arms. The cattle lie scattered across soft grass, shifting gently, heads lowering. Your horse grazes nearby, nostrils flaring, tail brushing lightly against dust. The night is deep, unhurried, infinite in quiet. You move along the herd slowly, reins loose, hands relaxed. Hoofbeats are soft, almost imperceptible against earth and grass. The wind rustles, whispering secrets across the open plains. Your own breathing falls into rhythm with the herd, slow, calm, steady. Every sound, every movement blends into one gentle pulse of life. The stars above twinkle faintly, distant, patient. Here, in the infinite quiet of night, the world narrows to soft light, gentle motion, and absolute stillness. A faint gray light brushes the horizon, signaling the approach of dawn. The cool air presses gently against your face, carrying scents of grass, water, and lingering smoke. You sit in your saddle, chest expanding with slow, deep breaths. The herd begins to stir, low murmurs echoing across soft earth. Horses shift, adjusting to movement, muscles easing after hours of stillness. Men stir quietly, preparing for a new day, hats pulled low, boots careful on dew-soaked ground. The creek glimmers faintly, reflecting the first hints of pale light. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, patient, unhurried. Time seems suspended, moments stretching, merging into one gentle, endless flow. You hum softly, a low melody blending with the natural rhythm of land and life. The horizon glows faintly pink, gold spilling slowly across dew-damp grass. The herd rises fully, heads high, tails flicking lazily. You swing into the saddle, muscles stiff but familiar with motion. The prairie shimmers in early light, dust rising faintly where hooves stir. Men around you move with deliberate care, folding blankets, checking gear, adjusting saddles. Your horse responds instinctively to gentle pressure, steps steady, ears flicking to every soft sound. Cookies fire sparks faintly in camp, coffee brewing, aroma drifting on the cool morning breeze. The world is infinite, quiet, and patient, carrying the promise of another long, slow day. You breathe deeply, letting the first light seep into your bones, filling you with calm. Another day on the trail begins, rhythm, dust, sun, and endless prairie stretching before you. The sun rises fully, spilling gold across soft dew and dust-streaked plains. You swing into the saddle, muscles easing into familiar rhythm. The herd stirs, longhorns shifting slowly, tails flicking against flies. Point riders move ahead, flanks adjust. Drag riders nudge hesitant calves. Dust curls in the morning light, brushing against boots and leather. The trail boss signals a steady pace, slow and deliberate. Your horse moves obediently, ears flicking, muscles flexing beneath you. The prairie stretches endlessly, calm, infinite, waiting for your rhythm to sync with its own. Every breath, every shift in the saddle, every low murmur of the cattle blends into one gentle, hypnotic pattern. The day begins slowly, deliberately, wrapped in dust, sun, and soft murmurs. By mid-morning, the sun climbs higher, warming the prairie, baking dust into the air. You pull your bandana higher, hat low, eyes squinting against light and grit. The herd moves steadily, hooves sinking into dry, hard earth. Arms ache from reins, legs from hours of motion, but your body knows the rhythm. Small stray calves are guided gently back into line, ropes swinging with practiced motion. The wind carries a faint scent of grass, smoke, and distant hills. Your horse responds instinctively, shifting, adjusting, perfecting every subtle motion. Time slows, stretching endlessly, dust and sun blending into a slow, hypnotic rhythm. The prairie stretches infinite, golden, quiet except for hoofbeats and low murmurs. Each breath, each motion is deliberate, measured, part of the day's endless flow. A young longhorn breaks from the herd, nervous, light on its feet. You signal your horse, adjust reins, and move along the flank. Dust curls in soft clouds as hooves pound the earth. The rope coils in your hand, familiar, comforting, ready. The calf twists, pivots instinctively, muscles tense, eyes wild. Your swing is smooth, loop falling perfectly around its neck. The horse braces instinctively, guiding the young animal gently back into the fold. The herd shifts behind you, low murmurs rising in soft rhythm. Your chest eases as adrenaline fades into satisfaction. The prairie stretches infinite, golden, calm, carrying the slow pulse of life onward. The sun is high, heat relentless, baking the earth and drying sweat-soaked shirts. The trail boss signals a break under a sparse stand of trees. Cattle graze lazily, heads lowered, tails flicking absent-mindedly. You dismount slowly, boots sinking into warm earth, muscles stiff and aching. Your horse grazes nearby, flanks rising and falling gently. Men move quietly, adjusting blankets, checking ropes, folding gear. The wind is faint, carrying dust, grass, and distant flowers. You sip water sparingly, savoring cool relief against dry throat. Even exhaustion becomes rhythm, a slow meditation in motion and stillness. The prairie stretches infinitely, patient, unhurried, carrying the day forward gently. Diego rides beside you, voice low, telling soft stories from home. You respond quietly, smiles, nods, laughter mingling with dust and wind. The cattle move in gentle rhythm, low murmurs rising and fading. Even amid sun, dust, and sweat, companionship is precious. Men ride together, synchronized by habit, experience, and subtle cues. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, vast, holding every sound and movement. Your own breathing falls into rhythm with the herd, horse, and companions. Time slows, each moment deliberate, each motion hypnotic. Dust, sun, and wind become lullabies, guiding body and mind into slow, gentle rhythm. Even monotony is comforting here, a steady pulse in infinite space. By afternoon, heat waves distort the horizon, sunlight rippling over the prairie. Your shirt clings, sweat trickles down your back, dust coats every exposed surface. The herd sways, calves and cows adjusting to movement, hooves sinking into hard-packed earth. You sip from your canteen sparingly, conserving water, letting muscles cool slowly. Every shift in the saddle, every tug of reins, is measured, deliberate. Dust rises in faint clouds, sparkling in the sunlight. Your horse moves with perfect precision, ears alert, muscles flexing, shifting in rhythm. Even fatigue merges into calm, blending with the slow, hypnotic motion of the herd. The prairie stretches wide, golden, infinite, patient. Time slows here, measured in hoofbeats, wind, and low murmurs of longhorns. A yearling veers from the herd, nostrils flaring, legs pumping instinctively. You guide your horse, closing the gap, rope coiled, hands steady. The calf twists and turns, reflexive, predictable to experienced eyes. A swing of the rope, a precise loop around the neck, and the young animal is guided back to the herd. The herd shifts behind you, low murmurs blending with wind and dust. Your chest eases, adrenaline fading into satisfaction and calm. The prairie stretches infinite, golden, soft-edged, carrying motion and rhythm forward. Every movement, every breath, merges with the slow pulse of life around you. You hum softly, a low melody echoing across the open plains. Time here feels suspended, measured only in motion, breath, and soft murmurs. The sun leans west, shadows growing long across the golden prairie. The herd grazes more steadily, heads low, tails swishing lazily. You ride along the flank, nudging strays gently, guiding calves with soft pressure. Dust curls faintly around boots and hooves, sunlight catching in tiny clouds. Men move quietly nearby, hats pulled low, voices hushed, rhythm slow. Your arms ache, legs throb, but the body moves fluidly, muscle memory carrying the day. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, calming. Even fatigue becomes comfort, blending with dust, sun, and unbroken horizon. Each breath, each motion deliberate, hypnotic, perfectly timed with the herd. Time seems endless, stretching in golden warmth across the plains. The trail winds gently toward a creek, promising soft grass and water for the herd. Cattle move steadily, low murmurs blending with distant water. You guide strays, calves, and hesitant cows with practiced care, reins soft in your hands. The trail boss signals slowly, steady, watching the edges, ensuring herd cohesion. Your horse responds instinctively, muscles taut, eyes alert, steps precise. The prairie stretches infinite, golden, calm, carrying every movement toward evening. Men around you move quietly, folding blankets, adjusting gear, humming low tunes. Even in exhaustion, there is satisfaction. The herd safe, trail intact, sun dipping toward rest. The day winds gently, endless, hypnotic, carrying the rhythm of motion forward. The sun touches the horizon, painting the sky in vivid reds and golds. The herd bunches near the creek, water rippling softly as they drink. You dismount slowly, muscles stiff, boots sinking slightly into soft earth. Cookie tends the fire, calling quietly as evening meal begins. Men gather, hats low, voices soft, exhaustion shared in silent understanding. Your horse grazes nearby, tail flicking lazily, muscles easing. The prairie stretches vast and patient, shadows long and comforting. The world slows, golden light softening edges, carrying all into gentle evening rhythm. Every breath, every movement, every sound merges into one slow, hypnotic lullaby. Night approaches, inevitable, bringing calm, quiet, and rest. The chuck wagon rests beside the creek, wheels sunk slightly into soft earth. Cookie stirs embers, coaxing a flame to life for the evening meal. The smell of beans, bacon, and coffee drifts across camp, rich and inviting. You dismount carefully, muscles stiff, boots sinking into the grass. Men gather slowly, hats low, faces illuminated by the flickering firelight. Some hum softly, some sit silently, listening to the gentle murmur of cattle and creek. Your horse grazes nearby, tail swishing, muscles easing after the long day. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, patient, shadows deepening in fading light. Evening moves slowly, carrying exhaustion, calm, and the hypnotic rhythm of the trail. You exhale deeply, letting the soft glow of the fire soothe your mind and body. Horses watered, bridles checked, ropes coiled neatly. The herd settles near the creek, low murmurs rising in gentle rhythm. Men move quietly, hats pulled down, voices hushed, performing each task with care. The fire crackles softly, casting warm orange light across blankets and saddles. You pat your horse's neck, brushing away dust and sweat, feeling warmth beneath your hands. The prairie stretches vast, shadows long, infinite in patient calm. Every movement deliberate, every breath measured, blending with the soft rhythm of night. Time seems to slow, stretching into one continuous flow of quiet, deliberate action. Even fatigue melts into gentle meditation, body and mind in sync with land and herd. You settle near the fire, letting the warmth and scent of coffee draw you closer to rest. The sky deepens to navy blue, stars beginning to pierce the darkness above. You lie back on your bedroll, blanket pulled high, boots beside you. The herd breathes softly, shifting gently, lowing occasionally. The creek hums a slow, endless melody. Every ache in your body fades, every dust grain and sweat droplet dissolving into calm. You watch stars emerge, letting the vastness above soothe and quiet your mind. Thoughts drift, memories of home, old friends, distant towns, laughter long past. Even recollections feel soft here, cushioned by prairie calm and gentle night. You exhale slowly, letting body and mind settle into the rhythm of stars, water, and cattle. Sleep hovers close, inevitable, patient, inviting you into its embrace. A hand nudges your shoulder softly, a low voice murmurs, "Your turn." You rise slowly, muscles stiff, swinging into the saddle. For men ride the perimeter of the herd, quiet, alert, breathing calm. Cattle lie scattered, lowing softly, tails flicking lazily in cool night air. Your horse moves steadily beneath you, ears alert, muscles relaxed but ready. Above, stars stretch endlessly, infinite points of light and calm. Night becomes rhythm, hoofbeats, low murmurs, water and wind blending seamlessly. You hum quietly, voice low, a slow melody merging with prairie sounds. Time stretches, infinite, measured in motion, breath, and the gentle pulse of life surrounding you. The herd sleeps, the prairie watches, and the night holds you in patient embrace. Shadows deepen across rolling hills, soft and undisturbed. Your horse shifts, adjusting weight, muscles flexing beneath you. The herd breathes gently, lowing softly, settling deeper into the night. Wind carries the faint scent of grass, earth, and distant smoke. Every motion is deliberate, every glance careful, every breath measured. Stars above pulse faintly, countless and steady. You hum, a low rhythm, blending with the natural sounds of night. Time slows, stretching, soft and infinite, every hoofbeat, murmur, and rustle part of the slow, hypnotic lullaby. The prairie is patient, vast and calm, cradling horse, herd and rider alike. You settle deeper in the saddle, letting night wrap around you like a soft blanket. Your voice joins softly with others riding, low and steady. The herd shifts slightly, tails flicking, settling again in the quiet. Horses move gently, muscles relaxing beneath riders' hands. The prairie hums along with you, wind and creek merging with soft melody. Every sense sharp yet calm, attuned to the slow pulse of life around you. Time stretches, unbroken, measured only in motion, breath, and the gentle rhythm of night. Even monotony becomes comforting, a tether to life, rhythm, and vast, patient land. The stars above watch quietly, constant and infinite. You exhale slowly, letting the melody guide both mind and body toward gentle calm. The night stretches long, unhurried, hypnotic, soothing every ache and worry. Your shift ends and you dismount carefully. The blanket feels cool beneath you, earth soft yet firm. Your horse grazes nearby, muscles easing after hours of steady work. The herd lies settled, lowing faintly in soft rhythm. Stars blanket the sky, countless, infinite, patient. You pull the blanket higher, letting the cool night air brush against skin. Every muscle relaxes, every thought slows, blending into the infinite calm of the prairie. The creek murmurs a gentle, constant lullaby. Sleep hovers, inevitable and gentle, ready to claim body and mind. The prairie cradles you, vast, patient, and unbroken, carrying you into rest. Embers fade softly, fire reduced to gentle orange glows. The herd lies still, shifting occasionally, murmuring quietly. Horses graze or rest, tails flicking lazily. Men on bedrolls exhale slowly, breathing steady, fatigue melting into calm. The sky above deepens to midnight blue, stars distant, constant, infinite. Wind brushes gently across blankets and hats, rustling grass in slow rhythm. Every breath, every soft sound blends into one infinite hypnotic pattern. Your body relaxes fully, every ache and fatigue dissolving into earth and air. The prairie holds all in quiet, patient embrace. Sleep comes gently, pulling mind and body into calm, endless rhythm. The moon rises slowly, casting pale light across quiet camp. Shadows stretch long, soft, blending into prairie contours. The herd breathes slowly, low murmurs fading into the night. Your horse shifts gently, tail flicking, muscles relaxed yet alert. The creek whispers endlessly, soft ripples over smooth stones. Men hum quietly, voices blending with natural sounds, soothing the cattle. Stars and moon reflect in water, distant and infinite, calm and patient. Every movement, every sound becomes part of slow, hypnotic rhythm. Your body and mind yield completely, floating in soft, endless night. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, carrying all into quiet, peaceful sleep. You lie back on your bedroll, blanket pulled high, boots beside you. The herd rests nearby, low murmurs fading, hooves shifting occasionally. The creek hums its gentle song, wind brushes softly across the prairie. Stars sparkle faintly, countless, infinite, steady above. Your horse grazes or rests, muscles easing after long day and night. Every ache, every dust grain, every thought softens and fades into calm. Time dissolves, measured only by breath, heartbeat, and gentle pulse of life around you. The prairie cradles you fully, vast, patient, infinite. Sleep comes slowly, gently, inevitable, carrying mind and body into deep, restful drift. The night holds all in its quiet embrace, unhurried, hypnotic, eternal. The sky remains dark, faint streaks of light brushing the horizon. You stretch slowly, muscles stiff from yesterday and last night's watch. The herd lies calm, bodies rising and falling with quiet breathing. Your horse shifts nearby, low neighing and soft snorts. The creek ripples faintly in the pre-dawn stillness. Men begin stirring in camp, voices hushed, hats pulled low. Cookie stirs the fire slowly, the aroma of coffee faint but comforting. The prairie feels alive, patient, infinite, holding every sound in gentle rhythm. Time stretches, measured only by soft breaths, hoofbeats, and murmurs. Your body eases into motion, preparing for another long, slow day on the trail. Pale gray light creeps over the horizon, brushing golden against dew-damp grass. The herd shifts gently, longhorns lifting heads, tails flicking in soft rhythm. You swing into the saddle, leather creaking, muscles stretching into familiar shapes. Point riders guide the front line, flanks adjust, drag riders nudge reluctant calves. Dust curls faintly in early light, catching the edges of boots and stirrups. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, carrying every hoofbeat and murmur in calm rhythm. Every motion is deliberate, every glance measured, every breath slow. The soft smell of grass, earth, and faint smoke fills your lungs. The trail carries on, endless, patient, hypnotic, guiding rider and herd alike. You hum softly, voice low, blending with land, wind, and cattle in gentle harmony. By mid-morning, sunlight warms the prairie, baking dust into the air. You pull your bandana high, hat low, eyes squinting against light and grit. The herd moves steadily, hooves sinking into dry, hard-packed earth. Arms ache from reins, legs from hours in the saddle, yet rhythm carries you forward. Small calves stray, ropes swinging, guiding them back with practiced ease. The wind whispers faint scents of grass and distant wildflowers. Your horse adjusts to every subtle pressure, responding perfectly to cues. Time slows, stretching endlessly, dust and sun blending into a soft, hypnotic haze. The prairie stretches infinite, golden, calm, carrying the herd forward gently. Every breath, every motion becomes part of the slow pulse of life on the trail. A lone yearling breaks from the herd, light-footed and nervous. You signal your horse, close the gap, rope coiled, hands steady. The calf twists, pivots instinctively, eyes wide, muscles tense. A smooth swing, the rope loops around its neck, guiding it back gently. The herd shifts behind you, murmuring low in soft, rhythmic harmony. Your chest eases as adrenaline fades into calm satisfaction. The prairie stretches infinite, golden, patient, carrying every motion forward. Each breath, every movement blends with the herd, horse, and land in gentle rhythm. The day continues, slow and unbroken, dust, sun, and vast prairie stretching endlessly. You hum softly, letting melody and motion merge into peaceful flow. The sun climbs high, heating earth and air, drying sweat-soaked shirts. The herd grazes steadily, tails flicking, heads lowered against bright light. Dust rises faintly around hooves, catching the sun in tiny golden clouds. Your arms ache, legs throb, yet each movement is deliberate, muscle memory carrying you forward. Men around you move quietly, adjusting gear, folding blankets, checking ropes. The wind carries the scent of dry grass, dirt, and distant hills. You sip from your canteen sparingly, letting cool water soothe dry lips. Even fatigue becomes rhythm, blending with dust, motion, and sunlight. The prairie stretches infinite, patient, calm, and hypnotic, carrying each breath gently. Time slows, measured only by hoofbeats, murmurs, and soft, endless prairie wind. Diego rides beside you, voice low, telling stories from home. You respond quietly, nods, smiles, laughter threading softly through the dust and wind. The herd moves with gentle rhythm, low murmurs blending with horse hooves. Even amidst sun, sweat, and dust, camaraderie is precious, a tether to life beyond motion. Men ride together, bodies and minds synchronized in subtle, unspoken cues. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, holding every movement and sound in gentle harmony. Breath falls into rhythm with horse, herd, and companion alike. Time stretches hypnotically, each motion deliberate, each breath measured. Dust, sun, and wind become a lullaby, guiding body and mind into calm. Even monotony is comforting here, part of the endless pulse of the prairie. Heat rises, creating shimmering waves along the horizon. Your shirt clings to your back, sweat trickling, dust settling into every crease. The herd sways gently, hooves sinking into dry earth with rhythmic precision. You sip water sparingly, conserving each drop, muscles flexing with subtle motion. Dust curls faintly behind boots and stirrups, catching sunlight in golden shimmer. The horse moves smoothly, every response instinctive, precise, fluid. Fatigue blends into calm, merging with sun, dust, and the slow pulse of the prairie. Time stretches infinitely, each hoofbeat, each low murmur, a soft lullaby of motion. The prairie is patient, golden, and hypnotic, carrying rider, herd, and horse alike. Even monotony becomes comforting, every motion deliberate, measured, and serene. A yearling strays toward the edge of the herd, nervous and swift. You shift your weight, signal your horse, rope coiled and ready. The calf twists, pivots, instinctive but predictable to experienced hands. A swing of the rope, perfect loop landing, guiding the calf gently back. The herd murmurs softly, adjusting in subtle, synchronized rhythm. Adrenaline fades into calm satisfaction, every motion deliberate, smooth. The prairie stretches wide, golden, infinite, carrying motion and breath forward. You hum softly, letting melody and movement merge into the hypnotic pulse of the trail. Every step, every breath, every sway of horse and cattle becomes part of one slow, endless rhythm. The day stretches forward, vast, warm, and unhurried. The horizon tilts toward a gentle rise, promising soft grass and creek water. Cattle move steadily, low murmurs blending with distant running water. You guide strays gently, calves and hesitant cows following cues. The trail boss signals slowly, steady, ensuring herd cohesion. Your horse responds perfectly, muscles taut, eyes alert, movements precise. The prairie stretches infinite, golden, calm, carrying every hoofbeat and breath forward. Men move quietly nearby, adjusting gear, folding blankets, humming low tunes. Even in exhaustion, satisfaction lingers. The herd safe, trail intact, sun dipping. The day winds gently, hypnotic, the golden prairie embracing every movement. Time slows, each breath, step, and soft murmur measured, infinite and calm. The sun touches the horizon, painting the prairie in fiery reds and soft golds. The herd bunches near the creek, water rippling as cattle drink. You dismount carefully, muscles stiff, boots sinking slightly into soft earth. Cookie tends the fire, calling quietly, preparing beans, bacon, and coffee. Men gather slowly, hats low, voices soft, exhaustion shared in silent understanding. Your horse grazes nearby, tail flicking, muscles easing after long day. The prairie stretches vast and patient, shadows long and comforting. The world slows, golden light softening edges, carrying all into evening rhythm. Every breath, every movement, every sound merges into one hypnotic lullaby. Night approaches, inevitable, bringing calm, quiet, and gentle rest. Shadows deepen across camp, stretching long and soft over dew-damp grass. The herd settles near the creek, lowing faintly, tails flicking lazily. Horses shift gently, muscles relaxing after hours of steady movement. The sky darkens, deep navy giving way to countless stars, infinite and patient. Cookie's fire crackles softly, orange glow illuminating blankets and saddles. Men sit quietly, hats low, voices hushed, fatigue melting into calm. Every movement is deliberate, every sound absorbed into the night's rhythm. Time stretches, infinite, measured only by soft breaths, hoofbeats, and murmurs. The prairie cradles horse, herd, and rider in a gentle, unhurried embrace. You exhale slowly, letting the calm of night seep into bones and mind. A hand nudges your shoulder softly. You shift. You rise slowly, muscles stiff, swinging into the saddle with care. For men patrol the herd's perimeter, quiet, alert, breathing steady. Cattle lie scattered, shifting slightly, lowing occasionally in soft rhythm. The creek hums gently, water brushing over stones in endless motion. Your horse moves obediently, ears flicking, muscles relaxed but ready. The stars above pulse faintly, countless points of calm and light. Night becomes rhythm, hoofbeats, murmurs, water, wind, blending seamlessly. Time stretches infinite, measured in motion, breath, and gentle pulse of life. You hum softly, melody merging with prairie sounds, carrying body and mind into calm. Shadows lengthen across rolling hills, soft and unbroken. Your horse shifts, adjusting weight, muscles flexing beneath you. The herd breathes slowly, lowing, fading into the night. Wind carries faint scents of grass, earth, and distant wood smoke. Every movement is careful, every glance deliberate, every breath slow. Stars above shimmer endlessly, constant, infinite, patient. You hum quietly, blending melody with natural sounds around you. Time stretches, hypnotic, measured by soft hoofbeats, murmurs, and wind. The prairie cradles all in gentle, unbroken rhythm, infinite and calm. Your body eases into night, letting the soft pulse of land lull you. Your voice joins others riding, low and steady, soft lullaby for the herd. Horses shift gently, muscles relaxing beneath hands, tails flicking lazily. Cattle murmur low, settling deeper into the soft earth. Wind brushes faintly across blankets and hats, rustling grass in rhythm. Every sound merges into infinite pattern, gentle, unhurried, hypnotic. Time dissolves, measured only by motion, breath, and prairie pulse. Even monotony becomes comforting, a tether to life and rhythm. The stars above glow steady, infinite, watching silently. You exhale slowly, letting melody and motion carry mind and body into calm. Night stretches, vast, unbroken, serene, holding all in gentle embrace. Your night watch ends, and you dismount slowly, muscles relaxing. The blanket feels cool beneath you, earth soft yet firm. Horses graze quietly nearby, muscles easing after hours of steady work. The herd lies settled, lowing faintly, hooves shifting occasionally. Stars blanket the sky, countless and infinite, patient and constant. Wind whispers across blankets and hats, brushing soft and cool. Every thought slows, every ache melts into calm, blending with night. The prairie holds all in quiet, patient rhythm, infinite in space and time. Sleep hovers close, gentle, inevitable, inviting body and mind into rest. You pull the blanket higher, letting prairie, stars, and night cradle you fully. The moon rises, casting pale light over camp and creek. Shadows stretch soft, blending into contours of earth, grass, and water. Horses shift, tails flicking, muscles relaxing beneath quiet riders. The herd breathes slow, low murmurs fading into night. Men hum softly, voices blending with natural sounds, lulling cattle calm. Stars shimmer faintly, countless and infinite, holding the prairie in gentle glow. Every movement, every sound becomes part of hypnotic night rhythm. Your body and mind yield fully, floating in soft, endless darkness. The creek whispers gently, a lullaby for horse, rider, and herd. Sleep comes slowly, pulling all into deep, restorative rest. Shadows stretch across rolling hills, soft and undisturbed. Your horse shifts under you, ears flicking, muscles relaxing fully. The herd breathes gently, murmurs low, tails flicking lazily. Wind carries faint scents of grass, earth, and distant wood smoke. Time seems suspended, measured only in hoofbeats, low murmurs, and soft wind. Stars pulse quietly above, infinite, patient, constant. Your own breathing merges with herd and wind in slow, hypnotic rhythm. Every movement, thought, and ache softens, dissolving into calm. The prairie cradles all in its vast, gentle arms, infinite and unbroken. You hum softly, a low melody blending with natural sound, guiding mind and body into sleep. The cattle lie scattered across soft grass, rising and falling gently. Your horse grazes, nostrils flaring, muscles relaxed beneath your hands. The night is still, unhurried, infinite in gentle calm. You move along the herd slowly, reins loose, hands steady. Hoofbeats are soft, almost imperceptible, blending with low murmurs. Wind rustles faintly, whispering across grass and blankets. Your hum merges with herd and prairie, one continuous, soothing rhythm. Time stretches, infinite, measured by breath, sound, and gentle pulse of life. The stars above glimmer faintly, constant, patient, watching silently. Your body relaxes fully, letting prairie, night, and herd cradle you into rest. Your shift begins again, moonlight casting soft glow across creek and grass. For men ride slowly, surveying herd perimeter, eyes alert, hands relaxed. Cattle breathe calmly, shifting slightly, tails flicking in quiet rhythm. Horses respond to subtle cues, muscles flexing gently beneath riders. The prairie stretches vast, infinite, patient, holding each movement in gentle balance. Stars glimmer faintly, countless and steady, silent guardians of night. Every breath, hoofbeat, murmur merges into unbroken, hypnotic rhythm. Time becomes slow, expansive, measured only by motion and sound. The wind hums softly across blankets, grass, and hats. Night carries all in patient embrace, vast, serene, infinite. The herd lies still, murmuring faintly, heads lowered, tails swishing lazily. Your horse shifts weight, muscles easing beneath saddle. The creek murmurs gently, soft ripples over smooth stones. Stars shine bright above, countless points of calm and patience. Men ride slowly, humming low melodies to soothe cattle, voice blending with wind. Every movement, every breath, merges into slow, hypnotic night rhythm. Time stretches infinite, measured in sound, motion, and quiet pulse of life. The prairie cradles all, horse, herd, and rider, vast, patient, unbroken. You exhale fully, letting night wrap around body and mind. Sleep hovers close, inevitable, gentle, inviting rest. The prairie is quiet, soft shadows stretching under moonlight. You ride slowly along the herd's perimeter, muscles relaxed but alert. Horses shift slightly, ears flicking, hooves brushing dry grass. Cattle lie low, murmuring faintly, tails flicking lazily. Stars above shimmer endlessly, countless, patient, and calm. Your hum blends with murmurs and rustling grass, creating gentle rhythm. Time seems suspended, measured only by breath, soft hoofbeats, and wind. Every movement is deliberate, every thought slow, merging with prairie calm. The creek ripples quietly nearby, water brushing over stones in steady flow. You exhale slowly, letting night's quiet lull both mind and body. Diego rides beside you, whispering soft stories from home. Your responses are slow, deliberate, blending with the soft night rhythm. Cattle murmur low, horses shift, hooves sinking into gentle earth. Wind rustles grass and blankets, carrying faint scents of earth and dew. Time stretches infinitely, each breath, each whisper part of hypnotic night. The prairie holds all movement and sound in quiet, patient embrace. Stars glimmer faintly, constant, infinite, silent guardians of night. Your body eases, every muscle relaxing into motion and melody. Even monotony becomes comforting, tethered to rhythm, sound, and space. Sleep hovers, patient, inevitable, ready to claim body and mind. Soft murmurs of cattle mingle with distant creek ripples. The wind brushes gently across blankets, hats, and horses' flanks. You move along the herd, reins loose, hands steady, watching quietly. Every hoofbeat, breath, and murmur blends seamlessly into night's rhythm. The prairie stretches vast, infinite, patient, absorbing all sound. Stars above shimmer quietly, infinite and constant, calm and unbroken. Your chest rises and falls slowly, merging with the gentle pulse of life. Even fatigue melts into calm, blending with the soft, hypnotic night. Time stretches endlessly, measured only by sound, motion, and steady rhythm. Sleep draws near, gentle, patient, carrying mind and body toward rest. Horses shift softly, leather creaking faintly beneath steady hands. The herd breathes quietly, murmurs fading into soft night hum. Moonlight stretches across the prairie, painting long shadows on grass. Every glance, every movement, measured and deliberate, blending into calm. Stars shimmer countless above, constant, infinite, patient. The creek whispers nearby, water flowing endlessly over smooth stones. You hum softly, voice blending with wind, horses, and low murmurs of cattle. Time slows, stretching, hypnotic, unbroken, measured by gentle pulse of life. Even monotony is comforting, tethered to rhythm, motion, and calm. Your body relaxes fully, letting prairie, night, and herd cradle you. The moon drifts higher, casting pale light over creek and grazing cattle. Shadows stretch soft, blending into contours of earth, grass, and distant hills. Horses shift gently, muscles easing, tails flicking lazily. Cattle murmur low, adjusting slightly, settling deeper into night calm. Wind brushes faintly across blankets, stirring dust in soft clouds. Stars sparkle faintly, constant, infinite, a gentle reminder of vast prairie. Every sound, every movement merges into one continuous, hypnotic rhythm. Time stretches infinite, measured by breath, hoofbeats, and soft wind. Your mind quiets, thoughts dissolving into calm and gentle motion. Sleep comes slowly, patient, carrying all into deep, restorative night. You hum a low melody, voice blending with wind and murmurs of the herd. Horses shift gently beneath you, muscles flexing, relaxing, steady. Cattle breathe slow, tails flicking lazily in soft rhythm. The prairie holds every movement, sound, and breath in infinite calm. Stars shimmer faintly, countless and patient, silent witnesses to night. The creek ripples softly nearby, a lullaby of flowing water. Time stretches, measured only by motion, breath, and gentle pulse of life. Your chest rises and falls slowly, every muscle easing into calm. Even monotony becomes soothing, tethered to rhythm, sound, and land. Sleep draws near, gentle, inevitable, wrapping you in night's embrace. Cattle lie scattered, bodies rising and falling with faint breath. Your horse grazes or shifts weight slowly, muscles relaxing. The creek hums quietly, water brushing over smooth stones endlessly. Wind brushes across blankets, grass, and hats, carrying soft scents of earth. Stars twinkle above, countless, constant, infinite, patient. Every movement and sound merges into slow, hypnotic night rhythm. Time stretches, infinite, measured only by soft hoofbeats, murmurs, and wind. Your body relaxes fully, every ache dissolving into calm. The prairie cradles horse, herd, and rider in vast, gentle rhythm. Sleep hovers, inevitable, gentle, patient, inviting mind and body into rest. You lean lightly in saddle, watching the herd shift and settle quietly. Moonlight paints long, soft shadows across the prairie, infinite and still. Your horse moves subtly beneath you, muscles relaxing fully. Cattle murmur low, tails flicking, heads occasionally shifting in calm rhythm. Stars shimmer faintly, countless, constant, silent watchers of night. Wind whispers gently, carrying faint scents of grass, earth, and distant smoke. Every breath, every hoofbeat, every murmur blends into unbroken night rhythm. Time stretches, hypnotic, infinite, measured by movement and sound. Even monotony becomes comforting, tethered to land, herd, and quiet rhythm. Sleep draws near, gentle, inevitable, carrying mind and body into calm. The herd lies still, low murmurs fading into soft night hum. Horses shift occasionally, tails flicking lazily, muscles relaxing completely. Moonlight casts soft glow over creek and grass, shadows stretching gently. Stars above twinkle faintly, countless, patient, infinite. The prairie breathes with quiet, hypnotic rhythm, absorbing all sound. Your chest rises and falls slowly, blending with soft pulse of life around you. Every movement, every thought, every sound merges into calm, endless night. Time stretches, unbroken, measured by gentle hoofbeats, murmurs, and wind. Your body eases fully into motion and melody, fatigue dissolving into calm. Sleep hovers close, patient, inevitable, wrapping all in gentle embrace. The night deepens, almost still, the prairie holding its breath. Cattle murmur faintly, heads resting, tails flicking softly. Your horse shifts weight slowly, muscles easing beneath saddle. The creek ripples quietly, water brushing over stones in gentle rhythm. Stars above shimmer faintly, constant, infinite, patient, holding the prairie. Wind whispers softly across blankets, grass, and hats, carrying scents of earth and dew. Every breath, every movement, merges with soft night pulse, hypnotic and unbroken. Time stretches infinite, measured only by sound, motion, and rhythm of life. Your body relaxes completely, mind quiet, every ache dissolving into calm. Sleep draws near, gentle, patient, inevitable, carrying you toward the first hints of dawn. Pale streaks of light creep over the horizon, soft and slow. The prairie remains quiet, dew clinging to grass, glistening faintly. Cattle stir slightly, shifting heads and tails, murmuring low. Your horse snorts softly, muscles flexing beneath your hands. The creek reflects pale light, ripples moving endlessly over smooth stones. Men begin stirring, hats low, voices hushed, performing morning rituals. Cookie stirs embers gently, aroma of coffee faint but comforting. Every motion is slow, deliberate, blending with calm pre-dawn rhythm. Time stretches, infinite, measured by soft breath, low murmur, and gentle hoofbeats. Your body eases into motion, preparing for the day ahead on the trail. The first cold brush of air touches your skin, sharp but refreshing. Muscles protest as you swing into saddle, stretching gently with familiar creaks. Cattle begin grazing, tails flicking, low murmurs filling the quiet prairie. Horses shift weight, muscles flexing, hooves sinking slightly into soft earth. The sky lightens slowly, pale orange and pink blending into deep blue. Men move quietly, adjusting gear, folding blankets, humming low tunes. Dust is minimal, replaced by cool, clean scents of morning grass and earth. Time stretches slow, each breath, step, and sound merging with infinite calm. The prairie hums softly, carrying every motion forward in gentle rhythm. Your mind settles, body easing into the familiar hypnotic flow of the trail. Cookies fire crackles, coffee aroma rising warm and rich. Men gather slowly, plates in hand, low murmurs of greeting exchanged. The herd grazes quietly nearby, longhorns shifting, tails flicking lazily. Horses nuzzle grass, shifting gently, muscles relaxing with morning light. The creek reflects pale sky, ripples moving softly, infinite in rhythm. You sip coffee slowly, warmth cutting through chill, taste mingling with calm. Time stretches, measured only by breath, soft murmurs, and gentle pulse of prairie life. Every ache, every dust grain, every thought softens into slow, hypnotic rhythm. Even monotony is comforting here, tied to herd, horse, and land. The day is young, patient, vast, inviting slow, deliberate motion and calm. Breakfast complete, men return to gear, saddles adjusted, ropes coiled. Your horse shifts beneath you, ears flicking, muscles easing after rest. The herd stirs gently, heads lifting, murmuring low in early light. You check reins, saddle, and bedroll, movements deliberate and familiar. The prairie stretches wide, dew glinting in sun's first warmth, soft and patient. Time slows, measured only in motion, breath, and rhythm of herd and horse. Every shift, every glance, every tap of hoof merges with hypnotic calm. Men move quietly, preparing for the day, voices low, laughter minimal. The wind carries faint scents of grass, earth, and creek water in soft rhythm. You exhale slowly, letting pre-dawn stillness blend mind, body, and prairie into calm. Longhorns begin rising, legs stretching, heads lifting, low murmurs filling air. Your horse shifts beneath you, muscles flexing in practiced ease. Men move slowly, adjusting blankets, hats low, hands steady on reins. Dust curls faintly as hooves lift, glinting golden in soft morning light. The creek ripples nearby, water moving quietly, endlessly over smooth stones. Time stretches, infinite, measured in hoofbeats, murmurs, and gentle prairie rhythm. You hum softly, voice blending with herd and wind in low, soothing melody. Every movement is deliberate, every glance calm, every breath slow. The prairie holds all in patient rhythm, infinite and unbroken. The day begins gently, hypnotic, measured in motion and quiet anticipation. The trail stretches ahead, soft dust rising under steady hooves. Your horse responds to subtle cues, muscles flexing, movements smooth. Longhorns murmur, tails flicking, hooves striking earth in synchronized rhythm. Point riders guide front, flank riders steady, drag riders nudging strays. Sunlight glints on horns, gold and silver shimmering, shadows stretching long. Time stretches, infinite, measured only in slow motion, breath and herd's pulse. Every shift, every glance, every rope flick merges with hypnotic trail rhythm. The prairie rolls endlessly, patient, calm, carrying rider, horse and herd alike. Even monotony is soothing, tethered to land, herd and soft, unbroken rhythm. Your mind settles, body easing, heart and breath syncing with endless trail. By mid-morning, sunlight warms earth, dust curling faintly in hooves' wake. You pull bandana high, hat low, eyes squinting against golden haze. Cattle graze steadily, calves straying slightly, ropes guiding them back. The prairie stretches wide, earth soft, grass glinting in warm light. Your horse shifts weight, muscles flexing smoothly, responding to subtle pressure. Time stretches, slow and hypnotic, measured in motion, breath and herd pulse. Men ride quietly, coordinating subtly, each movement deliberate, smooth, controlled. Dust settles into every crease, every fold of clothing, faint and golden. Even fatigue merges into calm rhythm, blending with sun, wind, and prairie life. Every breath and movement becomes part of one endless, hypnotic trail song. A calf wanders near the edge of the herd, nervous and quick-footed. You shift weight subtly, rope coiled, hand steady, reins light. The calf pivots instinctively, hooves striking dirt in soft rhythm. A smooth throw of rope loops over its neck, guiding it gently back. Herd murmurs adjust, low and soothing, tails flicking, bodies shifting. The prairie stretches infinite, golden, calm, carrying every motion forward. Time slows, each step, each murmur, each breath part of hypnotic rhythm. Your horse responds perfectly, every muscle tuned to subtle cues. Even in small moments, motion, rhythm, and calm merge seamlessly. The day continues gently, vast, patient, unbroken, carrying all in soft pulse. The sun climbs higher, warming earth, baking dust into tiny clouds. Cattle murmur low, grazing steadily, tails flicking, bodies shifting slightly. Your arms ache, legs throb, yet rhythm carries motion smoothly, effortlessly. Men coordinate subtly, guiding herd, adjusting gear, whispering low cues. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, golden, patient, absorbing every sound. Time slows, stretching endlessly, measured only in breath, movement, and herd pulse. Your horse moves fluidly, muscles flexing, responding to slightest cue. Even monotony is comforting, tethered to land, herd, and hypnotic trail rhythm. Every dust-specked breath, every sun-warmed movement merges into calm. The day is long, slow, patient, and vast, carrying rider, horse, and herd gently. Point riders signal gentle halt, herd adjusting, tails flicking, heads lifting slowly. You ease in saddle, muscles relaxing slightly, reins loose yet attentive. Cattle graze quietly, murmurs low, dust settling in shimmering haze. The creek ripples faintly nearby, water brushing over stones in endless flow. Men sip water sparingly, adjusting blankets and hats, murmuring quietly. The prairie stretches infinite, calm, patient, absorbing every motion and sound. Time slows, measured in hoofbeats, murmurs, and gentle pulse of life around you. Even monotony merges into hypnotic rhythm, tethering mind, body, and land. You hum softly, letting melody and motion carry fatigue into calm. The day continues, vast, unbroken, warm, and gentle, leading toward evening. The sun begins its slow descent, casting long golden shadows across the prairie. Horses shift under you, muscles easing, tails flicking lazily in soft rhythm. The herd grazes steadily, low murmurs blending with faint rustling of grass. Men adjust gear, tighten saddles, and quietly check ropes and lariats. Dust curls gently from hooves, catching fading sunlight in tiny clouds. The creek glints pale gold, water rippling softly over smooth stones. Time stretches, infinite, measured only by breath, hoofbeats, and herd pulse. Your body eases into motion, fatigue merging with calm, hypnotic rhythm. Even monotony is soothing, tethered to land, herd, and endless prairie. You hum softly, letting melody and gentle motion carry mind and body into calm. The sky turns shades of orange and crimson, horizon glowing softly. Cattle murmur low, tails flicking, heads lifting occasionally in slow rhythm. Your horse shifts weight, muscles flexing subtly, ears alert but calm. Point riders guide front, flank riders steady, drag riders nudging strays. Men move quietly, coordinating in subtle gestures, eyes flicking across herd. The prairie stretches infinite, absorbing light, dust, and sound into calm. Time slows, stretching gently, measured by motion, breath, and low murmurs. Every hoofbeat, rope adjustment, and glance merges into hypnotic rhythm. The creek reflects fading light, ripples moving endlessly, soft and gentle. Your body relaxes, mind eases, heart sinking with unbroken pulse of prairie life. Sunlight bathes the herd in warm, rich gold, horns glinting brilliantly. Cattle graze steadily, murmuring low, tails flicking in soft, hypnotic rhythm. Your horse shifts gently beneath you, muscles responding smoothly to cues. The wind carries faint scents of earth, grass, and creek water, calming and steady. Men ride quietly, subtle adjustments and gestures keeping herd moving smoothly. Time stretches infinitely, measured by breath, hoofbeats, and soft murmur of herd. Even monotony blends into rhythm, tethering mind, body, and land together. Dust curls faintly in warm light, settling softly over blankets and hats. Your hum blends with wind, herd, and horse, creating gentle, lulling melody. The prairie holds all in patient embrace, vast, unbroken, and serene. Shadows lengthen, stretching across the golden prairie as sun nears horizon. The herd begins slowing, heads lifting, grazing with gentle, measured pace. Horses shift weight, muscles relaxing gradually after long days' ride. Point riders signal subtle adjustments, flank and drag riders following cues. Men move quietly, adjusting gear, coiling ropes, murmuring softly to each other. Dust rises faintly under hooves, settling gently in golden haze. Time stretches slow, each breath, glance, and movement merging into calm rhythm. The creek glints pale gold, water rippling endlessly, mirroring fading sky. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with herd, horse, and prairie pulse. Even monotony becomes soothing, blending seamlessly into hypnotic evening. A gentle rise ahead signals potential bedground, creek curving softly along horizon. The herd adjusts naturally, shifting toward water and open grass. Horses respond easily, muscles relaxing, ears flicking attentively. Men scan land carefully, coordinating to maintain herd cohesion and safety. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, absorbing every hoofbeat, murmur, and shift. Time slows, measured only by motion, breath, and subtle pulse of life around you. Every glance, rope flick, and shift merges into unbroken hypnotic rhythm. Dust settles quietly, sunlight softening into gentle evening glow. You hum softly, voice low, blending with herd, horse, and land. Even fatigue merges into calm, preparing body and mind for evening rest. The herd reaches water, pausing to drink, tails flicking, heads low. Your horse shifts, lowering head slightly, drinking deeply, muscles easing. Cattle murmur softly, adjusting in gentle rhythm, spacing evenly along bank. Men move quietly, positioning to keep herd calm and contained for night. The creek ripples gently, water brushing stones, a soft, constant lullaby. Time stretches slow, measured by breath, movement, and murmurs of cattle. The prairie absorbs every motion, sound, and thought into hypnotic calm. Even monotony becomes comforting, tethering mind and body to land and herd. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with horse, creek, and herd's pulse. Night approaches gently, patient, vast, inviting slow, deliberate motion and rest. Men begin setting up chuck wagon, fire crackling faintly, aroma rising. Plates and cups clink softly, voices hushed, murmuring greetings quietly. Cattle remain calm, grazing or drinking, tails flicking, murmurs low. Horses graze near, muscles easing, ears flicking attentively. The prairie glows softly in fading light, shadows stretching long and gentle. Time stretches infinite, measured in slow, deliberate motion and soft murmurs. Dust settles over blankets, saddles, and hats, fine and golden in evening glow. Your hum blends with wind, creek, herd, and faint fire, creating soft hypnotic melody. Every movement, glance, and breath merges into calm, unbroken rhythm. The prairie cradles horse, herd, and rider in vast, patient, serene embrace. Cookie serves beans and bacon, steam rising in golden twilight. Men gather slowly, plates in hand, murmuring quietly, voices soft. Horses graze nearby, shifting weight, muscles relaxing, tails flicking. The herd remains calm, lowing softly, shifting slightly in rhythm of feeding. The creek glints faintly, water rippling over stones, infinite in gentle flow. Time stretches slow, measured in motions, murmurs, and subtle pulse of prairie life. Every bite, every sip, every glance merges into hypnotic rhythm of evening. Even fatigue becomes soothing, tethered to land, herd, and gentle unbroken flow. Your body eases into calm, mind softening, every muscle melting into peace. The prairie holds all in patient embrace, vast, infinite, and serene. Men lie back on bedrolls, hats pulled low, boots still on, eyes closing softly. Horses graze or shift gently, tails flicking, muscles relaxing fully. Cattle murmur low, settling into evening calm, heads lowered, tails flicking. The creek ripples softly nearby, water flowing endlessly over smooth stones. The prairie stretches infinite, absorbing every sound, movement, and thought. Time slows, measured only by breath, murmurs, and gentle pulse of life around you. Every glance, rope adjustment, and hum merges into hypnotic evening rhythm. Even monotony is comforting, tethered to herd, horse, and land's gentle rhythm. Your body relaxes fully, every ache dissolving into calm, softening into night. Sleep hovers close, patient, inevitable, ready to carry mind and body into rest. For men prepare for first night watch, adjusting gear quietly, reins in hand. The herd lies calm, murmurs low, tails flicking lazily, heads lowered. Horses shift gently, muscles relaxing, ears flicking attentively. The creek glints faintly in fading light, water rippling softly over stones. Stars begin to appear, countless, infinite, patient, watching silently. Time stretches slow, measured in gentle hoofbeats, murmurs, and soft wind. Every movement is deliberate, every glance calm, blending into hypnotic night rhythm. Even monotony becomes soothing, tethered to herd, horse, and vast prairie. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with horse, creek, and herd's pulse. Night falls gently, patient, vast, unbroken, carrying all into deep restorative calm. The first watch sets out quietly, reins loose, voices hushed. Horses move smoothly, muscles flexing, ears alert to every murmur. Cattle lie calm, lowing softly, tails flicking occasionally in steady rhythm. The creek ripples nearby, water brushing stones in endless, gentle flow. Stars blanket the sky, countless and infinite, shining soft, patient light. Time stretches, measured only in soft hoofbeats, murmurs, and wind. Every movement, glance, and breath blends into hypnotic, slow rhythm. Your body eases, muscles relaxing into motion, syncing with herd and horse. Even monotony becomes comforting, tethered to prairie, land, and night. Sleep hovers close, gentle, patient, pulling mind and body into calm. You hum low, voice merging with night, water, wind, and herd murmurs. Horses shift slightly, tails flicking, muscles flexing softly beneath you. Cattle breathe slowly, heads lowering, settling deeper into evening calm. Shadows stretch long beneath stars, the prairie infinite, vast, patient. Every hoofbeat, rope flick, and glance blends into hypnotic night rhythm. Time stretches endlessly, measured in breath, low murmur, and gentle movement. Your body relaxes fully, fatigue melting into unbroken calm. Even monotony is soothing, tethered to herd, horse, and endless prairie. The creek whispers softly nearby, water flowing in continuous lullaby. Night carries all in patient embrace, infinite, serene, unbroken. The herd lies still, murmuring faintly, tails flicking in slow rhythm. Horses shift occasionally, muscles relaxing completely, ears attentive. The prairie stretches vast, infinite, absorbing every sound and motion. Stars shimmer above, countless, constant, patient, unbroken. Time slows, hypnotic, measured only by breath, movement, and low murmurs. Every glance, rope adjustment, and soft hum merges seamlessly into calm. Wind whispers across blankets and hats, carrying faint scents of earth and grass. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with horse, creek, and herd's pulse. Even fatigue merges into gentle rhythm, body and mind floating in calm. Sleep draws near, patient, inevitable, carrying all into deep, restorative rest. For men glide quietly around perimeter, eyes scanning, hands steady on reins. Horses respond to subtle cues, muscles flexing, ears flicking attentively. Cattle breathe slowly, shifting slightly, tails flicking lazily in low murmur. The creek ripples faintly, water brushing stones endlessly, softly. Stars shimmer faintly, infinite, constant, silent observers of prairie night. Time stretches, measured in gentle hoofbeats, murmurs, and subtle movements. Every shift, glance, and breath merges into unbroken hypnotic night rhythm. Even monotony becomes soothing, tethered to herd, horse, and infinite prairie. Your body relaxes fully, mind softening, fatigue dissolving into calm. Sleep hovers close, patient, inevitable, pulling mind and body toward rest. The night deepens, shadows soft beneath endless starlit sky. Horses shift weight subtly, muscles easing, tails flicking in rhythm with herd. Cattle murmur low, heads resting, bodies stretching slightly in slow cadence. The creek whispers faintly, flowing endlessly over smooth, glistening stones. Time stretches slow, infinite, measured in soft hoofbeats, murmurs, and breath. Every glance, rope flick, and subtle movement blends into hypnotic calm. Even monotony is comforting, tethered to prairie, land, herd, and horse. Stars above shimmer faintly, countless, patient, constant, infinite. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with gentle pulse of night life. Sleep comes slowly, gentle, patient, wrapping all in deep, serene embrace. The moon rises, casting pale, silvery light across creek and grass. Horses shift weight gently, muscles flexing smoothly beneath calm riders. Cattle breathe slowly, murmuring low, tails flicking lazily, heads lowering. Men ride quietly, scanning, reins loose, movements deliberate and calm. The prairie absorbs every sound, motion, and breath in patient rhythm. Stars glimmer faintly, constant, infinite, silent guardians of night. Time stretches endlessly, measured only by motion, breath, and low murmurs. Your body relaxes fully, mind quieting, every muscle easing into calm. Even monotony merges into soothing rhythm, tethered to prairie and herd. Sleep drifts close, gentle, patient, inviting body and mind into deep rest. Soft murmurs of cattle mingle with gentle ripples of the creek nearby. Horses shift slightly, tails flicking, muscles relaxing fully beneath riders. The prairie stretches wide, infinite, absorbing every breath and movement. Stars shimmer faintly, countless, patient, constant, silent watchers above. Time slows, hypnotic, measured only by hoofbeats, murmurs, and wind. Every glance, rope flick, and subtle hum merges into unbroken night rhythm. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with horse, herd, and prairie pulse. Even fatigue melts into calm, tethered to infinite, vast, serene surroundings. The creek whispers gently, water flowing endlessly in hypnotic rhythm. Sleep hovers near, gentle, inevitable, carrying mind and body toward rest. The first pale hints of light creep over horizon, soft and patient. Cattle murmur low, heads lifting slightly, tails flicking lazily. Horses shift gently, muscles flexing, ears alert to subtle prairie sounds. Men stir quietly, hats low, blankets shifting softly, voices hushed. The creek reflects faint light, water rippling endlessly over smooth stones. Time stretches slow, infinite, measured in breath, movement, and herd pulse. Every glance, rope adjustment, and subtle motion merges into hypnotic calm. Even monotony is comforting, tethered to land, herd, horse, and sky. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with horse, herd, and prairie rhythm. Sleep recedes gently, leaving body and mind calm, patient, and unbroken. Shadows soften as night retreats, sky blending pale orange with fading navy. Cattle breathe slowly, murmurs low, tails flicking, heads resting briefly. Horses shift weight gently, muscles easing, ears alert to early light. The prairie stretches infinite, absorbing every sound, breath, and motion. The creek ripples quietly, water flowing endlessly, soft and soothing. Time stretches infinitely, measured only by movement, breath, and herd pulse. Every glance, rope flick, and hum merges into unbroken hypnotic rhythm. Even fatigue merges with calm, tethered to prairie, horse, and herd. Stars fade slowly, leaving only hints of night, soft and patient above. Your body relaxes, mind calm, ready for new day, patient, slow, infinite. The sun edges over horizon, painting sky in soft, warm shades of gold and pink. Cattle stir more fully, grazing gently, murmuring low in slow rhythm. Horses shift under riders, muscles flexing, adjusting to morning warmth. Men prepare quietly, reins in hand, adjusting blankets and saddles. The creek glints gold, ripples moving endlessly, reflecting early light. Time stretches gently, infinite, measured by breath, movement, and herd pulse. Every glance, rope flick, and motion merges into calm, hypnotic rhythm. Even monotony becomes soothing, tethered to prairie, horse, herd, and sky. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with land, herd, and infinite prairie. The day begins slowly, patient, vast, gentle, and unbroken, carrying all forward. Sunlight warms the prairie, spilling across grass and creek, soft and gentle. Cattle murmur low, grazing steadily, tails flicking, heads dipping in rhythm. Horses shift weight beneath riders, muscles flexing, ears alert to subtle cues. Men adjust blankets, saddles, and ropes, coordinating quietly in practiced movements. Dust rises faintly under hooves, settling gently in golden morning light. Time stretches, infinite, measured in breath, soft murmurs and smooth motions. Every glance, rope flick, and subtle hum merges into hypnotic morning rhythm. Even fatigue is soothing, tethered to herd, horse, and prairie, calm and infinite. The creek glints softly, water flowing endlessly over smooth stones, hypnotic and steady. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with horse, herd, and gentle pulse of day. Point riders signal gently. The herd begins moving forward in soft rhythm. Cattle murmur low, hooves striking earth in gentle, measured cadence. Your horse responds immediately, muscles flexing smoothly, ears flicking attentively. Men adjust reins and ropes with subtle gestures, keeping herds steady and calm. Dust curls faintly in sunlight, shimmering like tiny golden clouds. Time stretches, measured only by breath, motion, and low, soft murmurs of cattle. Every movement, glance, and rope flick blends into hypnotic rhythm of trail. Even monotony is comforting, tethered to prairie, land, and unbroken pulse of life. The creek ripples quietly nearby, water flowing endlessly over stones, soft and constant. Your body eases into motion, mind settling, every muscle relaxing into trail's rhythm. The sun climbs high, warming the prairie, baking dust into soft, curling waves. Cattle murmur low, grazing steadily, occasionally shifting in gentle rhythm. Horses move smoothly beneath riders, muscles flexing, tails flicking lazily. Men coordinate subtly, maintaining herd's flow, adjusting ropes and positions. The wind carries faint scents of grass, earth, and creek, soft and steady. Time stretches, infinite, measured by breath, hoofbeats, and murmurs of herd. Every glance, rope adjustment, and shift merges seamlessly into hypnotic rhythm. Even fatigue becomes soothing, tethered to land, herd, horse, and sun-warmed dust. The prairie stretches endlessly, patient, calm, vast, absorbing all motion and sound. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with horse, herd. Soft hills appear in distance, shadows stretching long beneath afternoon sun. Cattle adjust slightly, heads lifting, tails flicking lazily in slow rhythm. Horses shift under riders, muscles relaxing gradually, ears alert. Men glance toward hills, signaling subtly to adjust herd pace and formation. Dust rises faintly under hooves, catching sunlight in golden shimmer. Time stretches slow, measured only by motion, murmurs, and gentle pulse of life. Every shift, glance, and rope flick merges into hypnotic, unbroken rhythm. Even monotony is comforting, tethered to herd, horse, and infinite prairie. The creek glints in distance, water rippling softly over stones, steady and soothing. Your body relaxes fully, mind softens, fatigue blending with hypnotic trail rhythm. Sun begins its slow descent, casting long golden shadows across the prairie. Cattle murmur low, grazing steadily, heads dipping, tails flicking softly. Horses shift weight, muscles easing beneath riders, ears flicking attentively. Men adjust reins, ropes, and saddles quietly, coordinating herd's gentle flow. Dust curls faintly, settling softly over blankets, hats, and sun-warmed earth. Time stretches, infinite, measured in breath, motion, and soft murmurs of cattle. Every glance, rope adjustment, and subtle movement blends into hypnotic rhythm. Even fatigue is soothing, tethered to prairie, horse, and herd, infinite and patient. The creek glints softly in fading light, water flowing endlessly over smooth stones. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with horse, herd, and gentle pulse of day. The sky glows orange and crimson as sun nears the horizon, soft and patient. Cattle murmur low, heads lifting, tails flicking lazily, adjusting slowly in line. Horses shift beneath riders, muscles flexing smoothly, ears flicking alertly. Men guide herd subtly, reins light, ropes ready, movements quiet and deliberate. Dust rises faintly under hooves, settling softly over blankets, gear, and earth. Time stretches, slow, infinite, measured in breath, movement, and herd pulse. Every glance, rope flick, and hum merges seamlessly into hypnotic rhythm. Even monotony becomes comforting, tethered to land, herd, and endless prairie. The creek glints faintly, reflecting fading sunlight in gentle ripples. Your body relaxes fully, mind softens, every muscle easing into calm anticipation. A gentle rise ahead signals potential bedground for the night. The herd slows, murmurs softening, tails flicking, heads lowering in rhythm. Horses shift weight, muscles easing, ears alert yet relaxed. Men coordinate quietly, adjusting gear, checking ropes, and guiding herd gently. Dust settles in fading light, golden haze softening over blankets and saddles. Time stretches, measured only by soft hoofbeats, murmurs, and gentle movements. Every glance, rope flick, and subtle motion blends into hypnotic, evening rhythm. Even fatigue merges into calm, tethered to land, herd, horse, and infinite prairie. The creek ripples faintly nearby, water flowing endlessly over smooth stones. Your chest rises and falls slowly, syncing with horse, herd, and soft pulse of evening. The herd reaches the creek, pausing to drink and graze, tails flicking lazily. Horses lower heads to sip, muscles relaxing fully after long day's journey. Cattle murmur softly, adjusting spacing, lying down gradually in evening calm. Men set up chuck wagon quietly, fire crackling faintly, aroma of food rising. Time stretches slow, measured in soft murmurs, hoofbeats, and gentle pulse of life. Every movement, glance, and rope adjustment merges into hypnotic evening rhythm. Even monotony is comforting, tethered to land, herd, horse, and soft light. The prairie glows softly, shadows long, infinite, and patient. Your body relaxes fully, mind calm, every muscle easing into serene stillness. Sleep hovers close, gentle, patient, wrapping all in deep, restorative calm. Stars blanket the sky, countless, infinite, shining faint, patient light. Cattle lie calm, murmuring softly, tails flicking, heads resting, bodies still. Horses shift slightly, muscles easing completely, ears alert yet relaxed. Men lie back on bed rolls, hats low, eyes closing softly, murmuring low. The creek ripples gently nearby, water flowing endlessly, hypnotic and soothing. Time stretches, infinite, measured only by breath, low murmur, and gentle motion. Every glance, rope flick, and soft hum merges into unbroken night rhythm. Even monotony becomes comforting, tethered to prairie, herd, and horse. Your body relaxes fully, mind softens, every ache dissolving into calm. Sleep draws near, patient, inevitable, carrying all into deep, serene rest. The prairie is still, soft moonlight spilling across creek and grass. Cattle breathe slowly, murmuring faintly, tails flicking, heads resting. Horses stand quietly, muscles relaxed, ears flicking, eyes soft with calm. Men lie on bed rolls, blankets pulled close, hats over faces, silent and serene. Stars shimmer faintly, countless, infinite, a gentle canopy over endless land. Time stretches unbroken, measured only by subtle breath, soft hoofbeats, and gentle pulse. Every glance, motion, and hum blends into infinite, patient rhythm of the prairie. Even fatigue has vanished into calm, body and mind fully at peace. The creek whispers softly, water flowing endlessly, a lullaby of continuity. The day ends quietly, the herd rests, the night holds all in infinite calm, and sleep reigns, vast, gentle, and unbroken.